Okay. Tell Tommy to come and adjust the camera for me. I'll be right with you, everyone. We just went live. Why are you doing that? Okay. Tommy, tune in the, help aim the camera for me. Ooh, that jackfruit smells strong. Oh, and grab Julian a folding chair from the outside, okay? Hi, everyone. We are live. And like we always do when we start out, tell me if you can hear me. Hey, Ryan's here. Ryan, tell me, how do you like my new shipping? How do you like my new box? My son's here unloading all the avocados. We're going to do a lot of tasting for you here today. I have a special guest, Julian Lara. He's going to be here in just a second. My son's going to straighten out, name the camera a little better. Okay, Cupcake says you could hear and see me. Karen says you can see me. YouTube is trying to get me to buy a month of premium for free. I'm going to say no thanks. And let's go from here. So yeah, just try to take it a little more, little, like that way. No, like twist. Oh, like that. Yeah, that should be good. That should be good. What do you think, Tomboy?
Yeah, it's good.
Or you could even look at it like on your phone, see how it looks.
All right.
Okay. We're ready to roll. Tommy, stick around for a minute. I might need just a little more technical help, okay? Make sure the charger's working and everything for me. I think it is. All right, so we're just setting up, everybody. I've got two guests today. Julian Lara from Lara Farms Miami. Don't worry about it, Bob. I think we're cool. Julian Lara from Lara Farms Miami, and also Paul from the Fruitful Trees channel is on the way. And we also have a bunch of people in and out of the house, in and out of the grove. They're going to help us test all of these avocados, and we're going to answer your questions. So while I wait for Julian and my son to continue unloading all these avocados, and that's April. She's adorable, and she helped us pick some avocados this morning. She picked a nice black prince for us. Look at this, Julian. You got quite the haul, didn't you?
Yeah.
Jeez, Julian's been picking avocados all week for this event.
Hi.
There he is. He's gonna join us in a second. Did Tommy get Julian a chair? Where'd Tommy go?
Oh, he's helping me still.
Oh, you still have more?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Okay, well, while we do that, let me say hello to everybody. And everybody who's here, those of you that won your gifts and stuff like that on the previous live stream, I'm sure you got them by now. I'm getting a lot of people saying thank you and stuff like that. People are repping the lizard, walking around with their Sleepy Lizard baseball hats and t-shirts and everything. No, I need you, darling. I need a little favor. Do me a favor, just twist the camera a little this way. Just just like that. There we go. There we go. So let's see who's here. We got Greater Good. Greater Good said share the link. What do you mean by that? Where do I share the link, Greater Good? You're having some avocado toast using homegrown Pollux. Wise choice. Delicious, delicious variety. Is Simmons the big dog? We're gonna have to ask. We're gonna have to ask Julian. I think this is an atme, but Julian's gonna tell us all the varieties. Simmons is a large avocado, and we've got some big ones. Tommy, there's more? Oh my God, set them down. Julian can put them the way he wants to. Go get Julian a folding chair, bud. This big guy here is a Lara, if you're asking about it. This is a Lara variety.
Lara number one.
Lara number one. This is Julian's variety. He grew this from seed, and
For my dad.
him and his dad grew it from seed and waited 20 years, right? Till it finally produced?
Maybe like 10 years.
10 years, okay. And it looks like Paul is here. All right, we're ready to get started, everybody. Okay. So, wow, Cupcake, you got here early. So, Ryan, yeah, I see you're here, Ryan. I made some adjustments to the way I ship my packages, and I hope it worked out better for you. So you can let me know. Maybe you already did. Karen, thanks for the feedback. Jupiter's here. How you doing? Jupiter, I think you're walking around with a Sleepy Lizard hat. I got your feedback on that. Michael Saunders. Mike from Cape Town in South Africa. Wow, we're spanning the globe here. Hi, Laura. How you doing? We're spanning the globe here. We have a house full of babies, a house full of avocados. I couldn't be happier. Doug is here. Doug, you made it. Tell your family members that are visiting. We all said hi. Where's Tony? Tony, another free education class. Oh, no. Today you're going to really get an education because of this man right here, Julian Lara. He'll be able to answer all your questions. You're good, Tommy. Yeah, just be ready for me to call you. Oh, crap. You know what, Tom? I should have just put this on cellular. I'm on the network. See if you can switch it. We're going to take a risk here, guys. We might lose you. My son's going to go on the cellular network because as soon as you're not going to be able to do it. So let's see if we're still on. I'm going to just wave here. Okay, looks like we're still on. Let me know if you can still hear me. Paul's here. Yeah, thanks, Tommy. So it looks like when if you lose me, let me know, and we'll go from there. I can't go on our home network because we live all the way out in the Everglades, and we get crap internet connection. Paul's got a bumper sticker. Paul, we'll let you show this when you get on camera. Make fruit trees great again. I love the branding. Sounds familiar. Yeah. And let's see here. What's that? If you want to do your video, so you could load it up as a video, feel free to mark us up. But the acoustics are pretty okay in this house, Paul. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I think they're moving. Yeah. Plus, I like the natural baby sound. It makes me happy. I can't wait till I'm a grandpa. Norma, hi. How you doing? Cupcake, thanks for sharing the link. Kuka Monga. Hi from good old Miami. How you doing? Cupcake, all right, just a little hiccup. Jupiter, yes, we're back. Tony, you have to ask, are you the only fool that owns a bacon avocado tree? Julian, do you have a bacon tree? Take your time.
Foolish.
Uh-oh, might need to leave and come back. All right. No, get Tommy.
I'm going to get the link here and put on my thing.
All right. So I'm lagging, you're saying? Am I lagging everyone, or are we good now? I think we're okay. Okay, fantastic. The link's great. The sound is so good you can hear the kids. We're having a ball. We have, you're 2, Paul? We got Julian's 2. Wow, for 4 kids, it sounds like a whole preschool. And then we got my son also.
It's for the age.
It's the age, right?
Yeah.
I love it. All right, I want to thank everyone for coming to the live stream today. I've taken your feedback and actually gave a week's notice so that you know to come for it. We have, I think we're good, Tom. Oh, why did I tell Mom to come get you? I did? Oh, because it was lagging, but now we're good. Yeah. So in addition to planning ahead, we actually have 2 special guests. First one here, Julian Lara.
Hey.
And he needs a minute to compose himself because he just unloaded about 60 pounds of avocado.
Practically.
Noe, can you get Julian a drink?
No, I brought a drink, Noe.
Oh, you're good?
Yeah, I brought my soda.
Okay. And in a minute, well, come here, Paul. Say hello before, take a little break here. I'm going to introduce Paul from Fruitful Trees. Noe, come here, I need you.
I forgot my tripod.
I got a tripod for you.
Okay, good.
Okay, can you turn the camera just a tad so we get Paul? So that way, just a little bit.
Good thing I'm skinny.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Un poquito más.
She speaks English.
Yeah.
Está bien.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, so Tom Siddons, Lizard Avocado Farm, Julian Lara from Lara Farms Miami, and Paul Neeson from the Fruitful Trees channel, YouTube channel. All right, Paul's gonna do some techno stuff. Noe, darling, can you get my tripod for Paul? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna taste a whole bunch of avocados because we are in the heart of avocado season right now.
We're pretty much in the end of the beginning, you know.
Yep. Just getting into
Get
mid-season.
into the mid.
End of early season, beginning of mid-season.
Right. But even though a lot of these early avocados are coexisting
Exactly.
with the mid-season avocados, you know, it's kind of cyclical. Every year is different. Sometimes they come in earlier, sometimes they come in later. This year, it's pretty much on target. But yeah, the early varieties are coexisting with the mid-season varieties.
Yeah, and then another thing I learned, particularly like, where's the Donnie? This is a Simmons. You had a Donnie here a second ago.
Oh, no, I don't want to see that.
You don't have to eat it. Anyhow, there's a variety called a Donnie. It starts in early May, or mid-May. You had one, right, Julian? There it is. This is a Donnie. What I've learned about the Donnie is if you harvest them in May or early June, they tend to be a little on the watery side, a little on the bland side. If I leave them on the tree longer, they tend to taste a little better.
Yeah, you gotta wait till they blush a little bit yellow.
Yeah. And so I think people want to race to market, the farmers particularly, because they're able to sell this variety.
Well, the earlier
They get a better price.
They get a better price.
But I find the quality to be a little bit better if we wait. No, do me a favor. Grab my camera for me, sweetie.
Where is it?
It should be on the desk on one of the shelves in there, in my mess. And so what you see before you here is a pile of avocados. And you hear me say it all the time. Avocados come in all shapes, sizes, and colors. We've got this one here, which is called a Russell, that looks like a bowling ball. A bowling pin.
A bowling pin.
A bowling pin, yeah. And then is this your Lara? And this is a Lara #1. Looks a lot like the Russell. We also have tiny ones like this guy here, which is called an Ignacio.
Right.
Which I wouldn't even know about, except for I see it written on the pots at your farm.
If you like dry avocados,
Yeah.
you have to drink a glass of water after you
Are you
take
serious?
a bite of this one.
Really?
Super dense,
Really?
super dry, delicious.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know how to compare it to. It's just the driest I've ever had.
Wow. So, we got giant avocados, little avocados. Look we have them in red. This is a Hardy. It's a red avocado. This one is more, what's this one called?
Lara Purple.
Lara Purple. It's purple. It's a purple avocado. And then, is this a Brogdon here?
Yeah.
Then we've got Brogdon, which are black, and you could eat the skin.
Yeah, it's the paper thin.
And is this an atme?
That's an atme.
Oh, I knew it. I knew it was the atme. You can tell. This, if I find one that's similar size, it's heavier. It's a denser, thicker, heavier avocado.
Yes.
Paul, I'll have the thing for you in a second. Okay. And so we're gonna, of the ones that are ripe and able to be eaten today, we are gonna taste test and eat them for you.
And also, we should figure out which ones are A types or B types.
Well, I could look that up.
Yeah.
I could look that up.
I'm sure people want to know that.
Yeah, and what Julian's referring to is A types versus B types. In fact, I just did a tour out in my grove, and the majority of my grove is Choquette and Monroe. And there's a reason you blend Choquettes with Monroe, and it's because the Choquette is flowering type A, and the Monroe is flowering type
And
B.
I've always like I kind of like freaked out when I found out that Choquette is an A type.
You didn't know?
Well, I thought it was a B type for a long time because it's a complex hybrid between the Guatemalan type and the West Indian types. And usually most Guatemalan types are B types.
I didn't know that.
So I was really surprised to find out that it got the West Indian genetics so much that it was an A type.
Yeah. Well, and the reason we blend A's with B's is because of the flowering behavior of avocados. They call it synchronous dichogamy. Every avocado flower has both male and female organs, the reproductive organs, and they each have a female phase and a male phase. When A's are in their female phase, B's are in their male phase, which means the B's pollinate the A's. Then later in the day, no, I think I have that wrong. I think the A's are male in the morning. Whatever.
Well, the point is that when the female part of the A is open, the male part of the B is open and ready to go too, and vice versa.
And then they swap.
In the, let's say, late afternoon, they
swap.
The male
they swap in the afternoon.
of the A opens, and then the female part goes dormant or closes up.
Yeah.
And then the B type female part opens up, and the male part goes away.
Yeah.
Temporarily.
And so we blend type A's and type B's. So as a grower, when someone's trying to plan out their backyard, did my wife give you the camera?
No,
camera?
but no.
Yeah, right there.
The thing's
Oh.
not on me.
I didn't even notice, Noe, sorry about that. So when you're planning out a backyard, there's really two things we care about when you ask our advice. One is that you get a good mix of early, mid, and late avocado. And Paul, you're very good about reinforcing that. And I've observed Julian answer that question dozens of times when I'm hanging out at his place and customers ask him or things like that. Like I said, we've got, the Simmons and the Donnie that come in early. We've got our mid-seasons, such as the Brogdon and the Russell. And then we have lates like Monroe, Choquette, Hall, some others, right? If you can get a mix of those, you'll have fruit from May through December, or now with the atme. Did someone steal my atme? With the
No, we got
atme.
plenty. We got 1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4, maybe 5 or 6 of them.
Now with the atme, we have a new variety that starts in April. And so I can keep I keep Monroe's till Super Bowl Sunday, which is second week of February.
Right.
So right now
And Choquette too.
you can if you want to. I typically don't, but I do keep my
It's
Monroe's.
all about the discipline. I've
Yeah.
always said that you can hold, and the critters don't. Also, critters are a factor. They
Yeah.
can come, take a
Yeah.
bite, knock it down, or
Well,
just
plus my
mess it up.
choquettes start about a month before my Monroe, so I'm selling them. So I just don't have enough.
Right.
But you can actually. When my dad comes to visit, he'll find some rogue choquettes out there that we didn't take down. But my point is, I'll keep the Monroes till about second week of February. If I had some atmes, I'm looking at a 6-week break.
Yeah.
And if you keep a Monroe on the tree till Super Bowl Sunday, pick a half a dozen, stick them in the fridge, you could have them into March, right? In the fridge.
Wow.
And then you only got to wait about 3 weeks till you're out picking your atmes. So
Wow.
we're pretty much now,
All year, but you got Ronnie now.
and the Ronnie too, yeah.
Ronnie can stay on the tree until March, April.
Yeah, so we are pretty much now on a 365 day a year,
Yeah.
year round.
Now with the Ronnie and Atme.
Yeah, year round avocado
And
schedule.
Donnie too, if you stick with Donnie.
Yeah, if you wanted to have, there's some overlap now with atme and to Simmons and stuff like that. And so when people ask to plan out a backyard, well, that's what we want to do. We want you to have a mix of early, mids, and lates. We want you to have a mix of A's and B's, so you maximize pollination.
Like Miguel's a bee.
Is Miguel a bee?
I think so.
Okay, we can look it up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not even sure. But yeah.
Sometimes I have a feeling that it's a bee. I get like a premonition.
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
like a spider sense.
I tend to feel like the cold hardy ones are bees. Because I think I've been asked a lot.
Guatemalan types.
What's that?
Guatemalan types.
Is that? Oh, and they tend to be cold hardy and
Well,
tend to be
because
bee.
they're from Central
you were saying.
America.
So that's
And
why
they're
the
in the
choquette
mountainous-
surprised you.
mountainous area.
Yeah.
And they take a lot of cold.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
not tropical only like
Yeah.
the West Indian types, which is be like something like this or Simmons.
Gotcha.
The smooth skin ones.
Gotcha.
Those are the
gotcha.
tropical types.
Okay. Well, that that makes a lot of sense. And so that's why if you're planning out a backyard, especially if you're planning out a commercial operation, you want to have a mix of A's and B's. She's adorable. And you want to have a mix of early, mid, and late.
Right.
Of
course.
And like I say,
Thank you.
we're at a point now where you can have avocado year round. So Paul, welcome.
Hello.
How you doing, Bubba?
Sir Paul.
Good, good.
Do you have some guests coming, or did they change their minds?
They aren't able to come. This
Okay,
show.
all right. So we had a few extra people lined up. They're no longer
I might have
available.
one, but I sent them
Okay.
the address. We'll see.
Okay, that'll be cool. That'll be cool. We'll have to have my wife vector them in. I'm gonna go ahead and say some stuff if you guys want to. Actually, Julian,
Yeah.
can I ask you to tell them the story of the atme?
Sure.
How you discovered the atme?
Sure. Okay. Well, Atme is
No.
is a avocado that just happened to be noticed by chance.
It's in the fridge.
It was labeled as a Oro Negro at the University of Florida Research Center here in Homestead. Unbeknownst to everybody, they planted a Oro Negro and the graft died. So what happened was that the rootstock underneath started to take over and grow after the Oro Negro scion or part of the graft died for some reason. For some reason, maybe it got hit by lightning or whatever the case is, and then whatever survived was underneath the graft, and that started to turn into a tree. And I just by chance, you know, noticed it walking by or driving by in my car and seeing that there's fruit on a tree that looks pretty big, and I was like, wow, I wonder what it is. And I looked at the date, and I was like, wow, this is like April. It's still April, and these things are pretty big. I wonder what it is. And it said Oro Negro, and I was like, it's not Oro Negro. So I picked some fruit, took it home, and was blown away. I took pictures of it, and I put it on my Facebook right away, just to like conserve the date.
Okay.
Of when the picture was taken.
Yeah.
Okay. And I had it open. It was a completely black skin, and it was super dense. It was delicious. I was very, very surprised. So I went back there and I asked Jonathan Crane. I go, John, did you see this avocado? It's amazing. It's labeled as Oro Negro. Let's go out there and take a look. You know, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, practically. You know, and you have to have the eye, the curious eye, to find stuff like this. So I brought him over there, and he was like, "Yep, this is definitely the rootstock that has, you know, grown or outgrown the Oro Negro. The Oro Negro is not there." And they didn't notice it, and hence we got this new variety, and which I love. And I gave some fruit to him for him to try and make sure he took some home. And he said, hey, let's call it atme, because it falls in May and April, so it's atme.
Beautiful.
So I was like, hey, good enough for me.
Yeah, and if I may add a little flavor to this, when Julian says he was walking a grove, and in the month of April, he found an abnormally large avocado on the tree. This is the avocado he's talking about. My grove, my avocados aren't even this big yet in the month of April.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe some of my Simmons are maybe just starting to pop a little bit,
Right.
but most avocados are gonna be maybe half this size.
Right.
And he's finding this big whopper out there.
Right.
Um,
Right. Well, it was easy to spot.
Easy to spot, yeah.
Because at that time there was, you know, just little baby ones. And this year it made big ones and little ones.
Did it make little ones too?
Yeah, at the same time.
Yeah. Well, Julian sent me home with one of these the other day, and I took a little ride down to the end of our road to make a video. Cut myself a spear, tasted it. It was so good. I'm like an Italian grandma. When I have something good, I would rather watch someone else eat it than myself. Yeah, I'm like, manja, you know. And so I drove home, and my wife was working with a client. She was on the phone, and I'm like, I know, I'm not going to bother you. I said, just taste this. Popped a piece in her mouth. It's. Have you tried it, Paul?
Oh yeah,
Phenomenal.
It came to me last year.
Phenomenal.
Sent me home with a
I
box.
mean, so good. And one other thing I'd like to add to Julian's story. Normally, when a tree regresses to rootstock, that's what we get. These runty crabapple sort of trees. I see, or avocados.
Guatemalan type looking.
Yeah, I see thousands of these out in the groves, especially big groves, 20, 30 acre groves, where you can't possibly cut every little sucker or little seed that falls. Sometimes the seed falls to the ground and grows to maturity in these groves.
Right.
I'll come along 15, 20 years later and I see these little fruits. They're almost never tasty. They're almost always from a sort of vegetable tasting blandness to downright sour.
Yeah, they're mostly probably rootstocks of Lula, because back in the day, the preferred rootstock was Lula and Walden.
Okay.
But Lula was just so, you know,
All right.
widely available.
So
I have a question for
Yeah.
this. So is this actually a seedling, or is it probably a grafted variety that's unknown?
It's a seedling.
it's a seedling.
It's
It came
a
from
seedling.
seed. Yeah.
It was labeled as Oro Negro, and the Oro Negro died, and then this is the rootstock that was that the Oro Negro was on.
So
Now we don't know what the rootstock came from. We
Sure,
don't know
sure.
if it's a seedling of a Simmons, a seedling of a Russell, a seedling
No
of
idea.
we have no idea.
now, Julian, you just mentioned one of my favorite varieties, the Lula.
Right.
And that is the seed a lot of nurseries use for rootstock, right?
Correct.
So it's high chance that this came from a Lula. And this does. It looks like a shrunken Lula.
Yeah.
Wait till I cut it open.
Okay.
That, here, we'll do it this way. That is identical. That's what a Lula looks like. That's what a Lula avocado looks like when you open it up. Now, I don't know if you guys want to make this the first one we taste.
Sure.
And we might as well get it over with, because I tried one yesterday. And
So this is a seedling?
Yeah.
this is a seedling
Probably
variety.
most likely a Lula seedling.
It looks just like a Lula. Does not taste anywhere close to a Lula from my experience.
But you haven't had this one yet, have you?
I tried it yesterday. I picked a few off the same tree in a grove that was, it was just a rogue sucker that grew from below the graft.
See a knife?
Yeah.
Because usually the second bite is where you get hit, where it hits you.
I know I'm eating an avocado. Other than that, it just tastes like it's very bland. It's very bland.
It has more of a more aftertaste than.
There's a little avocado aftertaste to it, but it's relatively bland. Now it is chilled too. It's not at room temperature. But I've had them, seedling varieties, where you have to spit them out. They're so bad. This isn't that, but there's really no flavor to it. This is not something I'd ever put in a box and sell to someone.
Oh, of course not.
You know, but as we're out there in those groves and we discover these little seedling varieties that pop up maybe once or twice in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's like 1 in 1,000.
Yeah, you're
One
gonna
in
come
1,000, you're gonna come
yeah.
across a good one.
And maybe, I mean, there's something to be said for where you found it too, because you were in the Tropical Fruit Research Center.
Right.
And so, yeah, oh, that is a beauty. Oh my God. Can we?
It's like looking at a baby.
I love it. I mean, can we dig in?
Yeah.
to
Good
get
thing
the-
is, you know it's ripe when it turns black.
Yeah.
So that's important. There's a lot of
Yeah.
people that
They
have
blush.
avocado trees.
Yeah.
They don't know when they're ripe.
And I
It
had
blush a little bit black when it's ready to pick, and it's
Yeah.
still hard as a rock, but it blush a little bit black. And when they turn completely black, that's when it's ready to eat.
And I had mentioned this earlier, but size for size, volume wise, these are actually heavier. They're a dense, well, I'm using a Pollock as an example, which is also a dense avocado, but this is heavier than other avocado, like a choquette of this size wouldn't be
It
this
has
heavy.
a lot of gravity.
Yeah, it's very dense. Yeah, why don't we?
It's like a dense star.
So the first mangoes coming in are Donnie and Atme. Those are the first of the season.
Correct.
Then you're gonna get into the Simmons and Catalina.
And
Sim-
Miguel?
And Miguel.
Simmons and Dupuy.
Simmons and
Dupuy.
Dupuy.
And Berniker.
Berniker.
And Ignacio, which is a new member of the avocado family introduced from Cuba. It escaped communist Cuba to come to Miami
Fantastic.
by somebody helped it come in here by putting some budwood in the pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I
at
hear
least
Trump's gonna send that avocado back.
Listen, hey, at least we hope they put the budwin in their pocket. I never ask where they smuggle
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, well,
It's rude.
that's how they. Yeah, you don't want any
You don't wanna know.
foreign
Yeah.
factors.
But here is also the next one I pick after Simmons, which is a Miguel. And I'm going to send you home with some. Well, no, you don't like them or you have
No, it's very interesting because my neighbor has a Miguel tree. The production is amazing on
Yeah,
Miguel.
they are.
The thing is, from my experience,
Yeah.
every other one tastes amazing. But
Oh, really?
It's not consistent.
Okay, all right.
I mean, so
I like the flavor also as a commercial grower. I like them because they stay nice and clean. They're shiny. And they also have these beautiful yellow stripes.
I had
Yeah.
one 2 days ago that was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
And one last night that wasn't.
Yeah, to me, it's just as good as Simmons.
And Doug's watching. I gave you those 2 avocados when you came by my little fruit stand thing the other day. Doug is looking to identify the variety of avocado that's growing in his yard. You know Doug.
Yeah.
And they're delicious. He calls them the Joy Monica. They do look like a Miguel, but they look like a squat version of one. They don't get as big as the Miguel. But so far, Doug, we haven't been able to identify your variety.
Something you don't have here, which is getting quite popular. It's a Maria Black.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
I only have one on my tree and it wasn't
Yeah.
ready yet. But
Yeah.
those turn black when they're ready
Yeah.
and they're mid-season as well.
Why am I not eating atme, bro?
All right.
Yeah.
Cut it open, man.
And someone asked
need
someone asked a question, why is the guy on the left sweating so much? Okay, we're in South Florida. Just tying your shoes this time of year, you break
yeah.
out.
It's all
into
about
a
him,
sweat.
not me.
Well, it was before you sat down, yes,
Yeah.
Paul. Yes.
Because I'm on the left.
You're on the left
I'm the
now.
guy on the left.
You're
He's
on the left
left
now.
to you.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
If you watch any one of my videos,
In Spanish, we call that una tajada.
What does that mean?
A slice.
you're gonna see zillions of videos of me with salt stains, sweat. I lift up my arm, it drips off my elbow. That's just the time of year it is down here. Hey, Noe, come here, darling.
Look at that.
You know what? Let's cut open a Simmons just to contrast the color. Can I get that?
Sure.
Of here, no, look
The
at
first thing,
Atme.
the first thing Julian told me
Come here
when
on
the
the camera,
when the
Nathan.
Atme came out,
Come
he
on around.
said, "Goodbye, Donnie."
Goodbye,
Because
Donnie.
No one's gonna want it because it's the same season, but no one's gonna want a Donnie when you taste
I
this.
called it the Donnie Killer.
The Donnie Killer. Yep.
They're amazing. No, he tasted. What do you? That's the one I came that day you were working.
Oh my God.
I mean, is that not a delicious?
This is amazing.
We really should. Well, we started with what I know will have been the worst of the day, which is the seedling. Then we just jumped to what I think will be the best of the
Laura.
day. And it's never good to start out with the best,
Hey, Laura.
because it's all downhill from there, right?
This is
Yeah.
amazing.
But
So
what I wanted to contrast here, Julie,
Whoa, but that aftertaste.
it's so good. It's
that
so
aftertaste is just.
good. Now look, here's a Simmons, right? And people were just
oil.
asking me about this on a TikTok video the other day. Look at the difference in color. The Hass you get in the grocery store, your Hass is typically going to be this light green color. And then, you know, a lot of the ones we do here are more of this rich yellow color.
Very
But then-
thick and pasty.
Yeah, but look at the Atme is almost like white. It's like a very light yellow, right? Like compared, right?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very pale.
Oh, and it is like this is. I had 2 fruit experiences this year. Three of my outstanding fruit experience. The China jackfruit,
Yes.
The cochin from last
or maybe
night.
that was it.
No.
The,
Last night was
the
the
mine.
sticky one, the droopy one.
Well, the one from last night is cochin.
Okay, that was delicious too.
That melts in
You
your
have
mouth.
Well, okay, the one.
Now ready to taste.
No,
his
I,
house.
I brought it.
But look, turn around.
Yesterday, there's one left on the tree, but it was more
Yeah.
ripe than the one I brought yesterday.
So,
for you guys.
oh no, there's an open Monstera on the counter. Can you bring it? So well, I guess it was either the cochin or the China jackfruit. Huge eye opener for me this year. The white Perry mango,
White Perry,
also that ambrosia mango was amazing.
right?
And the Atme. The Atme was just an amazing fruit. A little surprise for later, Monstera
Oh,
deliciosa.
I love Monstera.
The Atme was just it blew my mind, dude.
David Letterman called it Chernobyl corn.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
Yeah, Chris Rollins went to made it to Letterman back in the '80s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Chris Rollins was the boss over there at the Fruit and Spice Park for a really long time. Mm-hmm. And,
He's been here. He's been to my farm.
Oh, he has. Well, he made it to David Letterman. man.
Wow.
And he brought a whole
He's a
bunch
character.
Of
I
fruit.
could see that.
Yeah,
He's
yeah,
a character.
Yeah, and David Letterman was like, "What's this? Chernobyl corn?" He got a good laugh out of it. But
He's
it
a
was,
character.
It was cool.
Paul, just feel free to throw anything on the floor. We'll clean it up after. Can you grab me a napkin?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, this Atme is
Oh, that is so
very
good.
savory.
I'm getting the aftertaste now. It
It's a
is
very oily,
so good.
reminiscent of ackee. When you eat
Oh,
raw,
yeah.
when you eat raw ackee, after it opens up and ripens,
Yeah.
and you clean out the red vein in the middle.
Yeah.
It's reminiscent of raw ackee. It
Mm.
has like a green peanut. Initially, it has a green peanut taste, but then the aftertaste is that of avocado.
Yeah.
And of this reminds me a lot of the aftertaste. of the ackee.
This reminds me a lot of the Hass avocado. The Atme also.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Yeah, reminds me of the Hass.
Look, do you want something that's 10 times the size of a Haas
Yeah,
growing in your backyard,
I sure do.
and just as good as Haas, or may not, or maybe even better?
Probably better. Probably
And
better.
how's the production?
Excellent,
Excellent.
excellent.
So, a little fruit nerd stuff. This is how all of these varieties got started.
Some got started by chance. Some got started,
Bred.
by selection.
Yep.
Some are bred. But even if you do a breeding program, you have to plant hundreds, maybe thousands of seeds and select one or two that are exceptional.
Yeah, which is why we get
What a save. The kids ran right through the cable. Más para la derecha. There you go.
y
A
un
little bit
poquito
more.
de abajo.
Un poquito más para acá también. All right, yeah.
Okay, and plug it back in.
Is that okay to choose on?
Huh?
Is that okay to choose on?
With shoes on? You know what? It's funny. I prefer people wear their shoes in my house. I'd rather the dirt from outside than the funk from the bottom of your foot, Paul, in my carpet. I never understood people who say take your shoes off. What do I want your nasty, sweaty foot funk on my carpet for? But you could take your shoes off too. I don't care.
I just put new socks on this morning, so
Oh, that's good. Well, it's Sunday.
yeah.
Yeah, that's when I change my socks too. But yeah, every one of these varieties, you had to weed through hundreds of these little seedlings until you finally got, a good variety, right?
I mean, you come across an atme, and let me tell you, for this to turned out to be this, just the one that the rootstock dies. I mean, that the graft dies and the rootstock takes over, and it happens to be something exceptional like this. That never happens.
Never, no. And so what Julian's talking about here, about people going through hundreds and hundreds of seeds, is why you wind up with mangoes with names like M4 and O15, and
They haven't been named yet.
They haven't been named, but that's how the nursery classifies the seedlings.
Well, it's just like it's row number M, and then plant number 4.
Makes sense.
M4, or row number O, and then plant number 15.
Right. Yep. Okay, so since I opened up a Simmons,
Let's try Simmons.
Why don't
now,
we try a Simmons?
compared to the atme?
Now, we'll give this a go. There's a part of me that feels like, give that a squeeze.
What's the difference, Simmons?
I might have opened it a little too early. What do you think?
Well, I got one here.
I've got others that are more closer to
What's
ready.
the difference between the
Yeah, let me go.
seasons of the Simmons and the atme? What's the exact difference?
Okay. Paul's question. Here,
This
we'll
is okay.
We'll do it. Or let's do this one. Let's
All
do
right.
this one. So
We got
Paul's
it.
question is, what's the difference in the season between the Simmons and the atme? So atme is April, May. But as we know with avocados, they don't start to ripen until you pick them off the tree. So depending on variety, you have anywhere, some of them you only have 60 days, some of them you have up to 120 days. You could leave them on the tree and extend your season.
Let's say there's 40 fruits on the atme tree. You're gonna be able to pick maybe a fraction of that. Let's say maybe a fifth of that in April and May, and then the rest will roll in.
And when does Simmons start?
Technically June.
July.
June.
So that's going to be watery.
I could start
They have
selling them
the
in June,
size.
but I don't. I wait until July.
As
But I
long-
could start selling them in June.
Right, as long as they have the size, you can pick it. But in June, you can probably find some that would have the size, but they're not going to be as tasty as ones that are picked in July, August, or even September. If a Simmons lasts on the tree until September, you got something there.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. And I'm actually right at the end of Simmons. One of my Simmons trees, I just checked on it this morning because I was given a tour, and it's starting to drop fruit. The only reason I've held it is because I have a few customers who specifically requested Simmons,
Right.
and I'm gonna pack and ship it to them on Monday.
Oh, they're going to be happy.
Yeah,
It's
and
late
yep,
Simmons.
yep, and then I'm done with Simmons.
Right.
So
Now, this is way easier to peel
Look
than the
at
atme. The atme is somewhat easy peel, but I guess the longer it's the more time it's ripe, the thinner and weaker the skin gets.
oh, that is good. What do you think, Paul?
It's a close comparison.
Yeah.
It has a different flavor.
Yeah. And you know what? I want to defend Paul because Paul, when I go on your YouTube, people tell you you're like a mango snob or you got a discriminating palate. But
am.
but
There's
the
so
other
many
thing
varieties.
people need to realize: you're also a Northeasterner, and so am I. And people from the Northeast, I think, are just a little bit more comfortable sharing bad news. Like if being honest about like if we don't like something. You know what I mean? It's a little different in the South, where people tend to soften the blow a little.
Both of these are excellent.
They're excellent, aren't they?
Yeah, both of these are excellent.
Atme is more dense.
Definitely.
This is more on the watery side compared to atme, because historically, my favorite avocado has always been Simmons.
Me too. One of them.
Okay.
Lula, Simmons.
And then others have come along to surprise me, in other dates, in other
Yep.
seasons,
Mhm.
like
Brogdon.
wow, like Brogdon or whatchamacallit, Ronnie blew me away.
I got to try that. Yeah.
Ronnie blew me away, man. I was like, this is as good as it gets. And that comes in the winter time or
Here's what
early
people are
spring.
gonna want to know. Somebody has a yard like me, a small yard, not a bunch of acres. They can only have one avocado tree for the whole year. According to your taste buds, what order would you give them?
Well, how many?
One for each season.
Oh, one for each season? Okay,
So super early the atme, we already know that.
okay, Atme, Simmons, and then after Simmons, it would have to
So
be.
let's say the season starts. Let's go by the year. So let's look at January. Let's just say we'll get into the end and what.
Oh,
swings
okay,
over.
beginning of the year. Okay, so January will be Choquette for January, February. And then after that would be Ronnie or Brooks Lake.
That one I haven't tried.
That one is February, March, April. And then after that would be Atme, which is April and May and June. in July, of course, because we're in July and there's still fruit on the tree. And then after July, we're going into August, September, and October, and we have Miguel will be or Brogdon will be my first choice.
Yep, Brogdon.
And then we have Catalina. Okay, and we also have another one called Tower Number 2, and another one called Tonnage that comes in the fall time, which is the September, October, November, and then what else comes into the fall? I can't really remember.
Hall.
Beta,
Choquette,
Hall,
Monroe.
Hall.
Oh, it's delicious, isn't it?
Hall.
Laura Pollock you didn't mention.
Oh, that's right, Lara Pollock. It's just so new that even though it's mine or ours from me and my dad actually planted a seed of a Pollock and hoping to get something better, and that 1 in 1,000 chance happened.
Wow.
My favorite winter one would be the Kampong.
That's another
That
one.
I have
That's
to
just
try.
look.
That I have to
there's
try.
so many avocados that my mental
Okay, out of all of
Rolodex.
them, you said Simmons was always your
Oh, you
favorite.
said just
but of
one.
More than that, what's your favorite of all?
It's hard.
For like all year,
Everything.
for the whole thing.
Somebody can have
favorite,
one avocado tree and they're here all season. So
I'll get a Ronnie.
Ronnie.
Yeah, all year. If I can have Ronnie all year, I'll definitely
Okay.
do Ronnie. It has a different taste than the atme. It has more of a walnut nutty taste. This too, it's just let me tell you, it's like a Miss Universe pageant, and you're the judge.
Yeah.
And you only have, you can only pick one, and
Yeah.
it's hard.
It's hard. I like the Brogdon, but I if I could have one avocado year round, I think I'd go Lula.
Okay.
I love the taste of the Lula.
And that season for Lula is like November, right?
Late
It's
season.
sticky.
Yeah,
It's
late
like a
season.
sticky, hard to peel.
It's
It
a
is.
sweetness. There's a sweetness
And
to
it's a
it.
sweetness to it.
Very low flesh to seed ratio. The seed takes up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Dirty. It gets dirty as hell on the outside.
It gets
It's
a lot of
horrible,
scab.
It's a horrible commercial variety.
Yeah.
But flavor wise,
Yeah.
oh my god, I love it.
Oh, Dominicans love it.
Now-
I love
now-
it.
now
Wait,
let-
can I just
Go
bring up
ahead,
one
go
thing?
ahead,
One
go
thing,
ahead,
Paul,
go
and then I'll go
ahead,
back to
go
you.
ahead, go ahead.
So, Julian, we brought up the Hall variety. Look what I have here, Julian. This is a picture of George Washington Hall
Wow.
and his wife, Amanda.
Wow.
The Hall, ancestors of the Hall family. Now, the
Wow.
Hall is a later season, which is why it's not on the table before us here. I have 3 Hall trees out back. And a family member saw one of my YouTube videos.
Really?
And she reached out. I'm Nancy Hall.
Wow.
And she's been sending me family history. And there's the guy who cultivated the Hall variety.
Here in South Florida.
Yeah.
And notice
Yeah.
they're dressed in a suit and a jacket with a vest.
Yeah.
Out in the humidity.
Yeah.
And the 90-degree weather here in South. I don't know if it was
I
just
don't
for
know
the
how they did
picture.
it. No.
Maybe it's just for the picture.
I don't know, because all those early scientists and stuff dressed up like Indiana Jones, like
Yeah, but I was like in
not
New
the
York.
leather jacket and the hat, but with like they
All
they'd
dressed
be,
up, all bundled
they'd
up.
be in the middle of the jungle in like ties, and they'd have like wooden tables
Sometimes-
with linen out there.
Yeah. Sometimes I think it's just for the picture.
I think it had to be. It had
Or
to
the
be.
mosquitoes.
Yeah,
or the mosquitoes. Yeah,
yeah.
that's true.
They know something we don't.
Well, I'm going to town on this
So
Simmons.
what I was gonna say is that these guys have big commercial groves. If you're like me, you have a small space. Understand this: if you want to grow a bunch of fruits, real estate is so much more important, because you'll get hundreds of avocados on a mature avocado tree, even a small one. But you don't need. It's easy to eat 100 mangoes. You're not gonna eat 100 avocados. Avocados like this atme, one you could take 2 or 3 days. So you're never gonna need all of these. So what I would, something to consider is,
Well, some people want it all year round in their backyard, and it's going to take about 5 trees.
yeah,
At least 4.
But you're never gonna eat all of them unless you plan on selling them. You're gonna have way more than you need. So what's your opinion about multi-grafting one tree with many of
Well,
these?
yeah, that's
it's
a
a
great,
great idea.
That's a great idea.
I've tried to do a Simmons Monroe mix, because Simmons is early, Monroe is late. Simmons is A, Monroe is B, and so
And
every
they
now,
look just like Choquette, and Choquette's an A.
yeah.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird. Yeah.
That's what I think is weird.
And then every now and then, when I get a seedling that splits, and I could put 2 on it, but I don't have Julian's skill, so I've never got one to take yet. But I've wanted to produce a few dozen Simmons Monroe not hybrid, but Simmons Monroe on the same tree.
Multiverse on one tree.
And then you got a late and an early, an A and a B.
And you'll have more than enough if it's just.
And
you
you'll get all
family.
your Simmons, and just as that's tapering down, you wait a month and then you start the Monroes, you know?
Yeah, the only thing you have to like babysit is to make sure the
One
Monroe
doesn't
Monroe
become
doesn't
dominant.
outgrow the
Yeah,
choquette.
yeah, you have to
Yeah,
balance
now
it.
with the avocado trees, I know with mango trees it's easy to sell if one's gonna outgrow the other. With avocado trees, do they all grow the same size or do some grow
No,
smaller?
Catalina, for example, is a dwarfy avocado. It's not a legitimate dwarf,
No.
but it's
Compared to the
compared to others,
Yeah.
it's significantly slower to get to grow. Let's cut Paul another slice of a different avocado.
Yes, let's do it.
'Cause I don't want him to get full.
I'm stuffing myself on this atme
Yeah,
already.
let's.
And we made that, I made that mistake when we did the mango tasting 2
Let's
weeks
do
ago.
let's do the hardy.
Oh, I've
Hardy
been dying to try a Hardy.
is what they call a red skin avocado. Not purple. See, this is what people consider red. But I have another one called Hialeah red that's in the fall that is really red like an
I've
apple.
seen them, they're gorgeous. I've got one of the trees. I haven't
I'm
fruited
gonna cut
yet.
that open.
So,
Have you had the Kampong?
No,
Oh, Kampong is
I'm
really
dying
good
to
too.
try it.
I like Ronnie over Kampong.
I'm dying to
Do
try it.
you?
But Julian, I need to come to your defense
Yeah.
in the comments here.
Yeah.
Someone who watches us a lot says every time Paul asks Julian, what's your favorite variety of a certain fruit, Julian always gives at least 10 instead of 1. Okay, let me tell
Well,
you
I said
something.
Ronnie. I said Ronnie.
He did settle on Ronnie.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something. It's like being asked who your favorite child is. It's not an easy question to answer.
Yeah, with the ones you like.
It's not an easy question to answer. You know, they're very good. So many of these are good. It's hard to kind of pick a favorite.
Yeah, it's like a
So,
beauty pageant.
It really is. It really is.
Easy peel. The hardy
Well,
is very
yeah.
easy to peel.
Another thing is taste is subjective. So
Taste is subjective.
you know a lot of people want to know what we like, and that's all right. But taste is subjective.
This is
Yep.
really good.
No, it's not.
Let me try.
It's very walnutty.
I'm gonna be the.
I don't taste walnut.
Well, it's on the watery side.
I'm gonna be
It's on the
the.
watery side. That's the one. That's. I mean, with all these avocados on the table,
Atme is the most dense.
why would we want to come close to tasting something like
Let me
this?
be the tiebreaker.
Me and now before you eat that, Tom. Me and Tom don't always agree. I know he's going to agree with me on
Okay.
this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I'm like Mikey. I really like everything. I'm like. Yeah.
Take a bite. Take a bite. One bite avocado. This is the name of the show. One bite avocado.
Yeah, my mind's not blown. I'm not repelled or repulsed by it, but my mind's not blown by that. But I could do this real easy with a little bit of salt, a little bit of
pepper.
olive oil.
I don't know. I got walnut out of it.
I'm good with it. I got that too. Yeah, I got that too. Definitely a different texture than either the Simmons and the Atme.
It's on the watery side.
And you know what I'm noticing too? Even the Atme, it's not as like slick. Where the Simmons, my finger like slides along it.
Yeah, the oil.
There's no party with the Hardy.
It's no party with the hardy.
I think it's pretty good. Well, sorry, I know, Paul. Have I ever told you there was one I didn't like, aside from these seedlings?
Donnie. Oh no, you even like Donnie?
I'm okay with Donnie. I'm okay
Well,
with Donnie.
if it's really
Listen,
ripe.
listen. Especially if you have a small place like me, don't waste your time with Donnie. Don't waste your time with anything but the best, because you deserve the best.
You do, and especially with how long you wait when you grow a tree. Cucamonga's asking, are we going to talk about avocado tree care? And yeah, we absolutely are, and we'll answer your specific questions. I mean, I'll start out with one of the things I've seen Julian tell customers this a zillion times is don't do anything to the hole. Dig a hole, stick the tree in with the dirt it came in from the pot,
And whatever dirt you dug out.
and then the
make
dirt
hole.
you dug out, put the hole back in.
Right.
Yep. And I see on Facebook all the time, and you probably do, Paul, too, because I know you participate in some of the same pages. You know, people are like, what's wrong with my tree? I've loaded the hole with banana peels and cat manure and sawdust and coffee grounds, and you know what I mean? And that could be the problem, you know, or a lot of times people put like too much mulch around the top and things like that. So one of the first things Julian has taught me, and I've seen Julian tell his customers this, is dig a hole, stick it in with the dirt that came in the pot, and then fill it in with what you dug.
Right, and then water it initially, just to get all the air bubbles out.
Water it in.
And then
Like give it a good water.
Give it a good
like let the
water.
hose run.
Right.
So you crush down all the air pockets and stuff and get the air bubbles out.
right, and then don't water it again until it needs water again. What does that mean? Stick your finger in the dirt And if it's wet, that means it doesn't need water. And the deeper you can put your finger, the better. You know, and if you can't, just get a moisture meter and put the probe as deep as you can, so you can, because where the roots end at the bottom of the pot, that's where it's always going to be wet.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So if it's wet down there, you really don't need to water.
But if you have good drainage, is it almost impossible to overwater the tree if you have good drainage?
I've seen people kill their tree by overwatering it in Hialeah.
Well, I
That's
wouldn't.
like all sand.
I wouldn't put one on I wouldn't put avocado on a continuous drip. I've seen banana. People have their bananas on
Yeah,
a continuous drip. You know.
I've gotten rid of several avocados that we didn't discuss here today. One of them was a winter Mexican I've gotten rid of, and also the Super Haas. And my problem with both of those, they grew amazing, but they both ripened unevenly, consistently year after year. So
Yeah.
Florida Haas also.
yes,
They don't
so
ripen.
What am I eating here?
This is the Lara Purple,
I love it.
or the Purple Simmons.
I love it.
It's
I
like
love
eating a
it.
Simmons,
It's like a
right?
Simmons. Yeah. I'd say it's a little firmer.
Yeah.
And the Simmons is already firm, but that's a very firm.
And it's easy peel, and we got that little purple action.
Oh, it's beautiful. And then this is something you could even bread and fry, like avocado
It's
fries.
very firm. You can cut
Yeah.
it into cubes and use it for sushi.
Yeah, yeah.
what's this one called?
Lara Purple. It's very dense.
I like it.
Excellent.
Oh, okay. Hey, Paul, we
Yeah,
agree.
excellent.
I'm digging this.
I'm gonna be honest. Look,
My
If-
dad
if-
selected this back in the 80s.
if
Really?
if something's not good
From a
here, I'm
Fiji
gonna tell
group?
you. But this is
Sorry, Paul, go ahead.
excellent.
Yeah. From a seed.
Wow, that's
That was
fantastic.
from a Simmons seed.
So
And
Julian-
that's the same season as now. Same season now.
Yeah, right now.
So
This is
Julian
more of a
just
fall avocado.
touched on something which a lot of you that grow know this, but my channel in particular gets a lot of people that are just sort of casually interested in fruit. They don't grow it. They're from the Pacific Northwest. They're from the heartland of the country. What Julian just said, his dad selected this variety, which goes back to what Julian said earlier. They would plant hundreds of seeds and get a bunch of losers, and every now and then they would get a winner.
Right.
One such winner, is this it here?
No, this guy.
Okay, was this
That's
guy
the,
here?
This the Hardy. This
Okay.
is the Lara Purple.
The Lara Purple,
Or I
and-
like to call it Purple Simmons. It's more easier to remember.
Yeah, and definitely a winner in my book. That is delicious.
Super dense.
That is delicious.
Sticking to my throat still a little
Yeah,
bit.
uh-huh.
And
That's
this
what-
will go down nicely with some rice and beans.
Yep. Now, before we get into the next one, another question I got, and there's a lot of old wives' tales about this too, is once I open an avocado, because you're not going to eat a 3-pound avocado in one sitting.
Maybe half.
Maybe half. Maybe if you're us, especially.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I'll slam 8 pounds of mango a day.
Back in the days, I used to be able to slam half. an
I'll
avocado.
slam 10
One of
pounds of
those.
mango. But avocado is a little rich for me. So you cut half. What do you do to save the other half? There's 2 things we do. If you noticed, as Paul and Julian have been opening the fruit, they just cut a little spear of what we're going to eat in the moment. That reduces the amount of flesh that's exposed to oxygen.
Oxidation.
Yeah, oxygen causes oxidation. Your fruit's rusting. And the way to limit that oxidation is to limit exposure to oxygen. So the one thing we do is we only kind of try to cut off, like the very first slice you took of that was super narrow,
Yeah, it's just for me
right? And we'll do that all day long
until it's over.
until it's over, right? Or another thing, if I'm gonna make it and really go to town, cut up a half and stick it in rice or something, I'll just take the other half and put it face down on the cutting board. That's good enough to keep the oxygen for a
Cut
few
off the-
hours.
or you can just leave the seed in there too, and that helps the inside preserve a lot longer.
And I also heard, I mean, on an apple, to stop it from browning, you could put lemon over it.
Okay,
Does that help?
I'm
with
gonna
it?
talk about
right,
those. I'm gonna
that's
talk about both those things. But, okay, so I'll leave it face down, I'll come eat the other half. If I know I'm not gonna get to it till tomorrow, saran wrap. Tight saran wrap. Now, for my son's,
My mom had like a shower cap just for fruit.
no way.
She'll put over.
I love it.
cut
I
fruit
love
in.
it. My son, both his elementary school and his high school have ag programs. He did as his science project one year, tested various ways to keep avocado from browning. The far and away, the best way was tightly wrapped cling wrap.
Oxygen.
Yeah. Leaving the seed in and, no, the next would have been lemon juice.
Right.
But then you change the flavor of your avocado. True. The next would be leaving the seed in, which was almost tied with nothing. Almost tied with nothing, except for the part under the seed.
Right.
Which is being blocked from oxygen.
Correct, right.
Then I did a little video on that, and someone said, which I don't suggest, can you give me a club soda, please? Paul, do you have a drink with you? You good drink-wise?
I'm good. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so again, what we'll do is put these face down, and then for me, I'm not as concerned about like wasting, because when I'm done packing on Mondays and Tuesdays, I have so many runts and so many uglies that I'm just gonna let go bad and use the seeds to plant seedlings, that I could kind of like let them go brown, you know? But if you're someone who lives somewhere where avocados are $3, $4, $5 a pound, you wanna extend your life. And so my first suggestion is just cut narrow slices for yourself. Second suggestion, tightly wrapped.
Now, what do you told me about freezing them? I've never froze avocados, but I know at Costco they sell frozen avocados. What's your experience with that?
My experience, I have cut up avocado. Yeah, that killed us.
Well, you can keep going. I'm on
Here, go. Yeah, I know, but we need to get the
want me to
live stream going again. Live stream, can you hear us? It looks like I lost my video feed when someone tried to call. Yeah, they can't see us. Just hit the little, I'll come around. Let's see.
Tell me what to do.
I don't know what to do is the problem.
Oh wait, somebody's on there.
I know one thing.
They're
I
still
know-
on there. Look, they're commenting.
I know, they could hear us, they can't see us, that's what the comment says. One thing I know not to do, is start screaming the F word when this happens, because people can see me. That's kind of my go-to response when things don't go right in my life. There we go, I think we're back.
Yeah, you're on. You're on.
Okay. All right, let's see. I think we're back, guys, right? Sorry about that. I still haven't worked out all the technical ins and outs of this. But anyway, that would be my suggestion of how to get the most out of your avocado. Also, when we pick, avocados don't ripen until you pick them. And depending on the variety and how late in that variety season it is, you might have anywhere from 5 to 10 days till it softens on your counter at room temperature. You can extend that time by putting them in the fridge. I recommend refrigerating them hard and then take them out a couple days before you want to eat them and let them finish ripening
Oh,
on
really?
the counter.
Okay.
As opposed to letting them soften and then putting them in the fridge.
Oh wow, I
Yeah.
learned something. 'Cause
Yeah.
I always put them, if they're hard, I'm like, don't put them in the fridge.
Well, that slows the ripening.
Yeah, but isn't that the point?
That's the point. But if you slow the ripening when they're hard and then let them finish on the counter, you avoid that watery, bland process that takes place. So the instructions I put in my boxes when I send to people is leave 1 or 2 on the counter, put the rest in the fridge, and then every other day take 1 out. And then the 1 or 2 on the counter will be ready on Monday. And they'll have them till Wednesday. And then the one you
Put
took,
them in when they're hard.
put them in when they're hard. I find when you put them in when they're soft, they get nasty in the fridge, they lose some of their flavor and they get watery. Now, Paul's question was about freezing. So to experiment, I cut a bunch up, put them in Ziploc bags, froze them, opened up the Ziploc bags 2 months later, let it thaw, took a bite, I almost threw up. It was disgusting.
Cell damage.
It was disgusting. I mixed it in a smoothie and it was good. You know, now I also put a ton of sugar and milk and, you know, flavorings,
So it
probably some
wasn't
cream
good.
cheese.
It wasn't good. Everything else was good.
Right, and so I don't, yeah, exactly. It's like when you say possum is good because you deep fry it, you know? So I don't know. Now, I've heard that when you flash freeze them, or what's that process? Dry? What's that?
freeze dry.
Freeze dry them.
Yeah.
They're good.
Yeah.
So can you talk? I know you have experience with that.
Yeah,
Joe.
you don't lose any nutrition or flavor. Yeah. I've dehydrated avocado and it wasn't like dehydrating mango.
No.
They don't taste the same and they lose nutrition. So I think freeze drying is the way to go, 100%. I might go half on a freeze dryer with a friend of mine.
Now, one thing I haven't tried is freezing them whole, like you taught me to do with Mame,
Mame.
like right with this.
I do it with mango too.
I do it with mango
Yeah,
too, and
mango
I've seen you do it with mango
The
too.
whole thing.
Yeah, and I think it comes out better
And
than
the
if you.
skin is a natural Ziploc bag.
Yes, yeah, I think they hold. Even when you freeze mango flesh, it loses its kick. in
Yeah,
the
you
freezer.
can't
Yeah.
peel it and then put it in a bag.
No.
It loses its kick,
Yeah.
exactly. When it's
Yeah.
still less processed, after you freeze it, the
Yeah,
better.
yeah. Now, of all the tropical fruit, I think Mame, I might opt for frozen Mame over non-frozen. It's freaking
Really?
delicious.
Yeah.
You've had it, right?
Now,
Bob?
would you freeze it? No, I haven't had
Okay.
frozen.
No, I wouldn't.
Would you freeze it? You let it
Skin
ripen?
and everything.
I do the opposite of an
Let it
avocado.
ripen first.
I let the Mame get to where you cut and eat it and then put it in.
Right.
Now,
He gave me a slice at his
freezing
place.
it whole, like if you cut open a slice,
No.
Then would you freeze it?
You can
No,
do that too. You
no,
can do that too.
Grab me the
You can-
frozen Mame
You
out
can
of
cut
the
slices just
freezer.
like that and put it in the freezer, and it won't taste
Knock
bad.
some of the ice
Perfect.
off of it.
Or you can put the whole thing. But personally, I like to cut them in slices with the
Oh,
skin on.
dude.
And it's like eating
It's
an
ice cream.
A slice
It's
of
ice cream.
It's like someone naturally
You would swear you added ingredients.
you
to it.
added milk and sugar to it.
Mhm. It is so
That's
good.
what it tastes like,
It
and
is
without
so
adding
good.
nothing to it.
Cupcake Betty is right. Texture can make or break a food. So let's play a game. I'm going to give away a box of avocados for the first person to answer this question. What did I say would have been my one, if I could only ever have one variety of avocado growing in my backyard? What variety did I choose? First one to answer, you get a box of avocados shipped out on Monday.
Wow. All right, next one we're gonna cut open is Eagle Rock, and Eagle Rock has a very unusual shape,
Yeah, that's gnarly.
very weird shape to
That's
it.
gnarly.
This one is from California, and it's an old school variety. It reminds me of the 70s, the flavor of it. So let's cut a slice up for everybody here.
Cupcake Betty, you're the winner. Lula, do this, Cupcake. Go to my About section on my YouTube channel. It'll say like, click here to send an email or look up my phone number and send me a text and send me your shipping address and you will be getting a box of avocados sent to you on Monday. Congratulations on the victory. You came in, even though you spelled it Lulu, I'm gonna give it to you. And you came in just ahead of Ryan. Ryan, did you answer my question yet? How do you like my new box? You had some input on that. Team Tabares, que pasa, Tommy? Hey, how you doing? How's Nico doing? I heard he, I saw one of your posts, he had a crash in a race or something. I hope he's doing okay. Oh, Alexi's out there. Is it Alexi Rodriguez? Is that his last
Yeah, I
name?
think so.
Yeah. Alexi, he wants you to bring back some avocados to him.
Okay.
All right? I think we can accommodate his request. Oh, that's nice. What is this one?
Eagle Rock.
Decent.
It reminds me of the 70s, you know?
That's what you were eating?
Low tech avocado, but nice.
I think it's not terrible, but it's on the watery side.
It's on the watery side.
Yeah.
But it's a good watery one.
I mean,
This is the avocado that
those
people
two
come-
words don't go together. What you just said.
Nah.
Team Tavares,
This
you're out in Denver. Are you guys racing in the mountains out there? Up there in the altitude?
A lot of people like watery avocados.
They do. I have people who specifically request watery
But
varieties.
for a watery avocado, this is very nice.
What would be, is there a word like, I never heard this word in Spanish, but I've heard people refer to it with avocados like agua tosa or
Oh, aguachento.
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 I've had people ask me for that. Is that
Wow.
a watery avocado?
Yeah, yeah.
Aguachento. Yeah,
And
yeah.
panudo is oily. Like
Okay.
Like the Lara purple. That's
Okay.
bien panudo.
Well, it's like any
Al
food.
dente.
It depends on what you grew up eating. You know?
But this is a very good watery avocado, even though it doesn't
I
sound
dig
good
it.
together.
I dig it. I dig it.
I don't. But
Yeah.
Well, you know, at this point we gotta be really picky. If you have a small backyard, you can't be messing around with watery avocados. You gotta have.
but even if you don't, I mean,
This
there's
I-
levels. There's levels.
There's
There's
levels.
levels.
Yeah, if I had limited space, I don't think I'd plant this one. But
This one or Hardy, because Hardy was another.
the Hardy was run of the mill.
Run of the mill.
I didn't find it. It didn't blow my mind or nothing like that, but it was decent. So, guys, do you let's cleanse our palate with one of these. Paul, have you ever tried this?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, many
Yeah.
times.
What do you think?
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
It's
What about
a
you?
combination between bananas and pineapples.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is called Monstera deliciosa.
Is it from the jackfruit family or fig family?
Not
I think
fig.
it's related to pineapple,
But I
but
don't.
I'm not sure.
No.
But here's the thing: it's one of the best tasting fruits out there. However, again, if you have a small place, it grows all over the place real fast, and you for the amount of land it takes up, you don't get a lot of fruit often.
Correct.
And so it wouldn't be my first choice. As a matter of fact, I took it out of my house because it's just.
Well, there's another thing about it too. The fruit itself takes over a year to produce. It's like a mame. So the babies are on the tree when you're harvesting the good ones. The other thing is it's not one of those like stick to your rib meals, because if you notice, I was just flaking away the kernels that are falling off. This fruit gives you about 1 inch or 2 a day to eat. Now tomorrow I'll get another inch and another and another. If we go ahead and bite into that, it's like biting into fiberglass insulation. It stings your lips, stings your tongue. It feels like there's little cactus particles, but I think it's a chemical, right?
No, there's shards in there.
Oh, there are
There's
shards in there.
Yeah, there's shards.
Oh, they're bad.
Some kind of a glassy shard.
It is. It's nasty. I mean,
And it's the plant's natural protection.
yeah,
Like, hey, you know, or whatever seeds is not ready to be eaten yet.
yeah. Now it's not as bad as like biting into like a habanero or something, but it'll kind of ruin your day. There you go.
It's not pleasant.
It's not pleasant. There you go.
Really nice.
Here's another piece.
Oh, thank you. Now, Tom has one of the only people I know who's growing this on a commercial level.
I grow it commercially, yeah.
Every time I come in, there's more plants popping up. And
Oh,
people
heck yeah.
usually complain about that, and Tom can't get it up. I see these overgrow his avocado trees. He's like, oh, let it grow. I'd rather have that.
I let them, I use my avocado trees as trellises for the Monstera because I sell out in 2 days. I make a video, hey, we're selling Monstera on Saturday afternoon. By Monday at noon when I'm getting ready to ship, I'm running in to mark them out of stock.
Wow.
I can't keep up.
It's delicious.
It's so good.
It's delicious.
And they're like individual little pods of little kernels of corn
yeah.
that
It's
pop
like
off
this.
there.
Laura, have you had this?
Oh, it is so good.
Man, what a nice change.
Right? Isn't it
palate,
good?
yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, to me, it's a mix of pineapple, banana, and soursop, or guanabana, or at least pineapple, banana, and like tropical. See, to me,
Now-
like what guanabana has like a classic tropical flavor, you
Now,
know?
when's the season?
August. I've picked them in late June, early July, and let them ripen on the counter. But August, you go out there now and walk the grove with me, you'll smell this. They call it the fruit salad fruit. It's got a very strong smell. If I smell them starting to open, I know it's time to start selling them. And then what I do is the ones that are already opening, I'll run them to a fruit stand down the street and sell to them. Before I even leave, they're putting them on the shelves and customers are buying them. That's how popular this has become.
And they're almost like a weed. They grow that fast.
They're
They'll
like a
just
weed.
take over.
They're like a vine.
The jungle takes over.
Yep. I'll show you. You'll be aghast at how I've let some of them take over my avocado trees. Because they put out, the vine itself puts out a root every centimeter or so.
Right.
It's just complete, it looks like an alien movie. They've completely overtaken
Yeah, it's invasive.
about 8 or 9 of my avocados, but I don't care because I'll let it kill the avocado tree because my customers want this.
Yeah. And this grows really well, you know, inside of a house.
It's a very popular house plant all around the world.
Yeah.
Now, Paul, I want to add something to what you said about using it as a backyard plant. Something that's happening here in the Redlands, we're losing our land. People are selling out to developers. The adult children of the farmers that are passing away aren't interested in running the farms.
Burr strawberry field.
What's
Well,
that?
Burr strawberry.
Is that what happened there?
Yeah.
Gone?
Well, it's not
You-
that they're
you've
not
been
in-
there. You've been
Yeah,
there.
I have, yeah.
It's
yeah.
not that they're not interested. What it is if somebody's going to offer you.
They're interested in the,
I
yeah.
mean, and it's understandable.
I don't
It's
fault
absolutely
them. I
understandable.
don't fault fault them for it, right?
Yeah, at the
Actually,
end of the day, we all want to check.
I'll tell you something. Julian and I were, me, you, and was it Chemo when we went up to Fairchild that
Yeah,
day?
yeah.
We're driving back and we're coming down 147th, and at the same time, me and Julian happened to catch a grove being bulldozed down,
Yeah.
and both of us went, oh, like both of us had the same reaction.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, right, okay. So one thing we're doing, Paul, and this is something you could do in a backyard, is layered farming. So you've got a ground crop, you've got a canopy crop, and you could have a middle crop. And Monstera makes a great ground crop. Now, it'll climb your tree, okay? Or you could use pineapple. So you plant your mango, your avocado, your lychee, your longan, whatever, one every 12 or 16 feet. Then you could do like 2 rows of pineapple underneath, or rows of Monstera. That's your ground crop. Then if you want, you could put some dragon fruit and train them, and they'll fruit about halfway up your avocado. So since we're losing our land, we're trying to find better ways to utilize it. Now, of course, now you've got 3 crops competing for the nutrients where it used to only be 1. So you have to fertilize and stuff like that. But that's one of the things we're trying to do.
Well, on that note, in gardening, because I have a nice garden and every year I try to garden, but in gardening, one of the popular things to save space is vertical gardening.
Yeah.
Which is just what you're talking
Similar,
about.
yeah, similar concept,
You know,
yep.
So you go vertical instead of
Topsy-turvy.
You could do a lot more, and especially with gardening, you get a lot covered with
Very
that.
similar concept, yep.
All right.
What am I about to eat?
This one right here is called Samil 34,
Okay,
which is a really popular variety for a lot of growers in the Dominican Republic.
I have something I want to say
Before,
about this one.
did you try it yet?
I'm gonna try it right
I'm
now.
telling you, I don't know what you're gonna say, but you're
Let me
gonna,
try it.
you're gonna be blown away.
Let me
What were
try
you
it.
gonna say about it?
I want to taste it first. I want to taste
You're gonna
it
be blown
first.
away.
Okay. Yep.
This is what Dominicans like.
Starchy.
Starchy, kind of like the
Like a
Lara
pollock,
purple.
or like a pollock.
Or like a pollock. We have a pollock here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
I like it.
right up my alley.
Here's what I want to say about the Samil. The Samil 34?
Yeah.
The Samil 34, when you go into the market and you typically see Hass and what a lot of people will call a green skinned or a tropical or a Florida avocado.
Wow.
Most people think it's Hass and green skin. They don't realize we're looking at what, 15 different varieties.
There's black skin, red skin,
Everything,
purple skin, green skin.
Yeah, but most of the market, because 95% of the market is the Hass, and then they see other, and they think other is all the
Well,
same.
it's gotten bad reputation because they come out watery
Well,
most of the time.
so let me explain why. Most of them that you're getting most of the year is the Samil 34 from Dominican Republic. There's nothing, the Samil 34 is an excellent variety,
Yeah.
but I don't care how good your variety is if you have to pick it a little early, put it in a shipping container, chill it, bring it into America,
Right.
heat treat it, maybe gas it.
Maybe gas it.
It's not going to taste as good as what we
Tree
get to eat.
ripened, a tree ripened.
Tree ripened, counter softened avocado.
Right.
So I could see, we could go to Publix right now. There's probably still some Samil 34s out there.
Right. Which they also a lot of these supermarket avocados going by the name of Slim Cado,
Okay.
and that's also has given these West Indian type avocados a bad rep
I agree.
because they're thinking that it's going to be watery,
I agree.
and they're afraid to buy a green skin one of these big green skin avocados.
I
They're
agree.
terrible.
I agree.
Do you know what variety that is? The Slim avocado?
I do.
Many different kinds.
It's whatever they have at the packing house. The particular pack. That's
West
the
Indian.
That's the brand of a packing house.
West Indian avocados is what they're naming Slim Cados, but
And as a guy who spent his career in marketing,
messing up the whole thing.
I feel like, whenever you advertise something as light or fat-free, the person's like, okay, I'm compromising quality for it's healthier. If you're in the produce section, we already know it's healthy. You don't have to advertise. You don't have to say like this vegetable is even
Low
extra
oil.
healthy.
Oh, I want avocados low in fat. That's like
Who
oxymoron.
wants that? Why would you even be doing it? Yeah. And so, but anyway, like I say, this is the very common import that people will say is watery and bland, and it's not because of the avocados, it's because of the handling.
They pick it too early.
They pick it
and
too
the
early.
Process
Well,
of
there's
getting it
another one.
through.
There's another one that it comes from Dominican Republic that's excellent as well. It's Carla.
Is that one good? I don't know that one.
Oh, excellent.
Hipólito himself told me that the Carla is booth 5.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or booth 8. I don't remember if it's 5 or 8. But
Either way, it's excellent.
either way, booth avocados, there's about 15 of them or 20 of them. My favorite being booth 5, booth 8, and booth 11.
So
Those
when
three
you
are
taste the
phenomenal.
booth 5 and the Carlo, would you say they're similar?
I haven't tried the Carla.
Really?
I haven't tried the Carla yet.
Well, I don't know if I did because that was a mistake. Never mind.
It's just so many avocados, it's hard to keep track. So anyways, Samil 34 is pretty good, huh?
Yeah,
It was delicious, and I've been beating this drum. If you dislike the non-Hass avocado, you don't dislike the avocado. You dislike the way it's handled.
Well, what if they got you a Donnie in the store? Then it's not this. Even if it's handled right.
That's a real light avocado.
If
That's
you-
avocado light.
Okay, I'll give you that. However, most of the
I hear what you're
Dominican
saying, though.
imports
I
are
hear what
Donnies.
you're
They're
saying.
mostly Samil 34s.
Yeah.
They're mostly
This is
Samil
excellent.
34s. Yeah. So if you see the little PLU sticker and it says Dominican Republic,
That's the Samil. Where's the Samil? This one.
yeah. But anyways, but that's true for our mangoes too.
Yeah,
Like
I was about to say that.
my aunt and uncle, I was like, I'm gonna send you guys some mangoes. They're like, oh, cool, whatever, right?
Right.
They called me up. They're like, what did you send me, dude?
Yeah.
I sent them like Glens, like nothing special,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But all they've had are imports that are picked too early,
Picked too
chilled, gassed, irradiated, and heat treated.
Yeah,
It's not gonna taste good.
Or forced to ripen. Or
Yeah,
forced
gassed.
to turn yellow.
Yeah,
Gassed.
yeah. And it's true for think of eating a tomato you grew in your garden versus a tomato you buy at the grocery store.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna win. Look what we have here, fellas.
Oh, we got what? A frozen Mame?
Frozen Mame. If you want to do another little
Palate
palate
cleanse.
cleanse.
All right, let me
So
clean this knife a little.
again, remember my audience isn't as familiar with tropical fruits as y'all's. This is a fruit called a Mame. We are sitting with one of the drivers of the Mame industry as a fruit, Julian, and before Julian's dad, right?
Right.
Going all the way back to the late 70s and 80s. There's a Lara variety Mame, which is named after
My
you.
last name, yeah.
There is the Pace Mame, which is the first two initials of his dad's name and the first two initials of his
My
mom's name.
Yeah, first two letters.
First two letters, the P-A-C-E. This guy knows it. Even your logo, even his shirt has a little Mame on it.
Which I sell on my website if you like it.
What's your website?
LaraFarmsMammy.com.
I say that about. This is me every phone call. Hey, do you sell trees? I don't, but do you have a pencil and paper? Yeah. Okay, write this down. LaraFarmsMiami.com. L-A-R-A farmsmiami.com.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. Now let's show them this. This is Mother Nature. We didn't do anything to that. Look at how beautiful that fruit is inside. And if you notice, every other thing Julian's cut open, he's immediately offered to me and Paul. He's keeping this all to himself right now.
What's a frozen Mame?
You guys want some too? Yeah. All right, come get it, Noe. This when it's not frozen, you cut in
Just
half,
like avocado.
and you just scoop into the husk like it comes with its own bowl, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You cut it in half and just
Yeah.
spoon it out.
Come on, Noe, you got to get in the pick if you're
I
going
was
to eat
just
it.
able to post that we're live. 'cause
Oh,
I
thank
wasn't
you.
able to a moment ago. so-
Well, yeah, I have crap internet out here. So my wife what are you doing with a whole plate? How much of this do you think you're
For
getting?
the girls,
All right, we'll
it's
give it.
not for me.
We'll give it to you in a minute. But you got to eat it on camera, Noe. And Paul, you've not had it frozen yet?
No.
This
Really?
Dig in, Bubba.
This is
I gave
ice
him a whole
cream.
slice.
Oh, okay.
This is
Oh,
a
he didn't
good
take a
ice
bite of it.
cream. This is a good ice cream.
It's like
Yeah.
eating ice cream. It really is.
Now you wait till this to thaw out and then you freeze it.
I wait for this to where it's properly ripened, where you'd eat it right then and there.
Wow.
And that's when I freeze it.
Yeah. And then you eat it frozen.
What happens if you freeze it unripe?
Never tried. I don't know.
It won't ripen.
Because a persimmon you could freeze unripe and it ripens it. When it thaws out, it's ripe.
Yeah, that's like a temperate fruit though. This is a tropical fruit.
Thank you, babe.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Here, have some more, guys. And then we'll give Noe the rest for the girls.
Yeah.
Well,
you have to try this.
Mame
I'm
is
surprised you never froze my Mame.
No.
Mame is the only fruit that I like
Give us some
proactively freeze. I purposely
Yeah, for
freeze
the
it. I don't just freeze it to preserve it for later. I purposely freeze it. Julian, are you still selling Mame on your website? Okay, so Julian's still selling it. I'm pick clean for the year. In fact, my last couple orders I bought off of Julian to fill.
Right.
But I'm done with Mame for the year at guacfarm.com, guacfarm.com. But Julian, you're still selling Mame for a couple weeks? Or
Probably a few more months.
probably a few more months even? Okay, yeah. And Mame, similar to the avocado, had a dead spot in the year. So we have different varieties of Mame that covered us, what, late January through about October?
Yeah, Mame has been absent, has always been absent from, let's say, September to February, March.
Okay.
Okay, and now we have Jamaica Mame, that makes fruit from December through June. So, you know, we almost have Mame all year round.
Isn't
now.
there one winter one though of the Halo?
Viejo, yeah, but it sucks, man.
Yeah.
It's not good
But the
Mame.
Jamaica variety, Mame, and for those of you who weren't on the stream earlier, is pretty much the same story as the atme avocado, which was Julian was walking around at the research center and found a ripe Mame at a time of year we normally don't have ripe Mame.
Well, what I did was like, let me scratch this fruit to see if it's red. I know it's not going to be red, but let me scratch it anyway.
Sometimes you can't help yourself.
And it was red.
Yeah.
And this was in December. I was like, listen, little Mame. I know it's going to be green. It's not even a big Mame. It's probably going to need more time to grow. But let me scratch it anyways. And it was blood red. And it was
Yeah.
in December. Very close to November. So it makes fruit at a time of the year when there's no Mame. I mean, Paul was telling me about Viejo. Viejo makes fruit in January, February, sometimes December. And it's good because there's nothing else available. So, you know, that's the good thing about Viejo, but it's nothing compared to Jamaica.
Yeah. And what Julian's talking about when he says scratch it, that's how we know when to pick them. We say it scratches red. So you go on and you scratch, the pickers scratch the skin with their finger.
With their nail.
With their nail. If it shows green, we know it's not ready yet. If it shows red, it's ready to pick. So a little Mame trivia, if you're at a fruit stand or a market and you want to kind of show off to your friend, pick one up and show them. There will be scratch marks where they attempted and it wasn't ready yet. You'll often find 3 or 4 little scratch
Little
marks,
nicks.
little nicks in the skin. And so just like the atme, and this is like a little industry insider type thing. Right now, there's only one tree in the world producing this variety of avocado.
Yeah.
Happens to be just about a half a mile that way. Not even.
Yeah.
It's 1 block away from us,
Yeah.
that tree.
Yeah, you guys live really close.
One in the world, and then he's got some grafted small ones that you're cultivating right now.
That I sell on my website. Right now, it's sold out. I think I must have sold, a lot of them.
They went super quick.
But they go really quick. I guess the word is out.
And similarly, that Jamaican Mame variety,
Yep.
one in the world,
There's one in the
right
world.
across the street,
And I have to
you've
harvest-
got them grafted.
And I have to harvest the budwood from that one tree.
So we can't just find the atme, and then next year all the farmers are growing it.
Mame?
Because guys like Julian who run the nurseries have to grow the trees. Right now there's only 1 plus all the ones he's grafted. Right now with the Jamaican Mame, there's only 1 plus all the ones he's grafted. Next year, he'll be able to harvest more budwood and graft more. And then you'll be able to take budwood from the ones you grafted, and so on and so on. So it's like a exponential growth kind of thing.
Yeah. I got like 100 people waiting for the Jamaica.
I've been in his office where people are calling. He's like, yeah, the waiting list is already out to
Keep
next
this in
year.
mind. I've had Julian tell me that sometimes he can't even sell his mames because the seed is that valuable to grow
Right.
the tree.
I'm contemplating not selling any more Mame and just using it for seeds.
Yeah, or you could have the recycle program where if they pay extra for the mame, but they get their money back. They get their money back when they return the seed.
Yeah, kind of like a bottle.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I had a visitor come here one time. She had a bag full of caimitos. She said she got them from you, and she said she agreed to bring the seeds back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, caimito is a star apple, which
Star
is
apple.
another fruit that
native
Julian
to the
and his family
Caribbean.
have brought back.
Much beloved by Jamaicans, much beloved by Cubans. Dominicans, not so much. They don't really care about it.
And yet,
Puerto
it grows
Ricans
there.
don't care. The Puerto Ricans don't care about it either.
That's like I lived in Philadelphia. We don't go to see the Liberty Bell. You know what I mean?
No,
Nah, you don't go to, no, you know? Or people from here don't go to the beach.
They don't appreciate
We don't go to
it.
the beach, you know?
like Mame Americana is named
Oh,
after the Caribbean.
that's
And,
the best,
and
man.
and it's referred to in Cuba as Mame from Santo Domingo, and over there they don't care about it. In Cuba, the only thing they do with it in Cuba is like a preserve. They don't eat it fresh.
Oh my God, it's delicious.
So and in Puerto Rico, no one cares about it either. Now, if you go to the smaller islands like Antigua and Saint Martin or whatever, those are more appreciated over there.
All right, so I got my friend Team Tabares, which is my buddy. We always race bikes together. His son has made it to a pro cyclist. So he's just checking in with us, and his son's over in Belgium racing. So tell him, you know, Tom's thinking of him, and congratulations. And I knew he would be able to whoop my ass before he even turned 15.
That Mame frozen tastes like strawberry cake, like strawberry shortcake.
It really does.
It tastes like ice cream.
It doesn't taste.
Like sorbet.
It tastes like
Yeah.
there was ingredients added.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get it rock hard and you put it through the ice cream machine, the one that turns it into ice
Oh.
Yeah, I
serve,
have that. A juicer even.
it's gonna be phenomenal. The shavings are phenomenal. Or
Eh,
eating it like that.
I tell my customers sometimes, I say, freeze one. Let it ripen the way I put the instructions in the box, freeze one. They'll be texting me, oh my God.
Here's the problem. Here's the problem.
What's that?
With Mame, the only place I would recommend you get Mames is from these guys. They both have them on their website, and I'm serious because when you buy Mame from the store, it's 50-50 or not even close to you're gonna get one that's ever even gonna ripen.
Yeah.
So what happens if you get one of those that are picked too soon, they're not gonna ripen, they just never ripen.
Throw it in the garbage.
I mean, listen, you're 50-50 if you get Mame from the store that you're gonna be able to get a Mame.
Paul, I was 30 years old before I realized I loved cantaloupe. My dad had cantaloupe in our house every week. He'd buy it at the grocery store. He'd put it right in the fridge. I never had a properly ripened cantaloupe till I was 30. Like picking and ripening your fruit at the right time is key.
The first fruit I ever got off a tree, I was 20 years old.
Yeah.
It was a grapefruit.
Yeah.
It was the first time I've ever got a fruit off a tree.
Yeah.
And I was hooked after that.
Such a game changer.
I was in Malaysia a couple of weeks later eating
Yeah.
fruit right off the durian right off a tree.
Here's another Semil 34.
I got a question for you guys. Is Oro Negro a fast-growing tree? This is from Ruben.
No, I don't think so. It's not a big tree like a
I have
walnut.
some sad news about the Oro Negro.
Let's hear it.
It's I believe one of the best tasting avocados out there,
Not very
but
productive.
I'm finding out now it's nowhere near as productive as other avocado trees.
Okay.
It's not for me.
So for a
Consider-
commercial grower like myself, I wouldn't want to do
Even
it
for a
then.
personal house, considering these amazing varieties, Kampong and Ronnie for a winter avocado,
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to be skeptical about Oro Negro as being #1 avocado. It tastes amazing, but it's just it might even be alternate bearing, some people say.
Yeah, so here,
This one is called Berniker.
Now let me ask you about.
I've been dying to try a Berniker.
Well,
I never tried one yet.
Let me ask you about.
It's a Simmons.
Let me
alternative.
ask you this, Julian, about alternate bearing. What avocados are commonly known to be alternate bearing? Meaning they don't bear every year. It's like every couple of years.
Like
or
they
every other year.
like they
They
Take a year
a
off.
year off to recover.
Yeah. What varieties are known to do that?
My halls do that. My halls take a year
It could
off.
be any. It could be any avocado that has an incredible amount of avocados on the tree, like produced, that it damages itself. You know, it needs to recover, and sometimes they take a year to recover. Mame does that too, especially Magana. When they make too much fruit, they take a year off to
Oh,
recover.
yeah?
Yeah.
Well, my halls, I'll often film my videos in front of a hall because they're just loaded with beautiful, like
Yeah.
pear-shaped
Those things
avocados.
really go out of
The following year, nothing.
over and beyond.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Last year, that's when the Hall family first reached out to me. I said, I'd love to send you some halls. I don't have any. Now this year I have them, and I'm going to send them.
And they're phenomenal.
And I
They're
know,
delicious.
Phenomenal.
I know when you prune an avocado tree, a mango tree, when the last mango falls off, that's when you prune it, because if you prune it too late, it'll mess with the crop next year.
Right.
What about avocados?
Same. As soon as you get the fruit off, you want to prune
That's
it.
when you prune it.
Especially with everything. After you harvest all the fruit, that last fruit, that's when you can cut it.
And you want to prune it. You don't want to leave it.
Sure.
I get the nice new green sprout. I get better growth, more sunshine. And also now with laurel wilt, they say the more sun you let into your grove, the better. That's still experimental, but
Which one is that?
Berniger.
I like it.
Berniger's phenomenal.
I gotta be honest, everyone that we liked here today,
Yeah.
or that I liked, if you put a blindfold, they're all just as good. I wouldn't know the difference
Yeah.
on some of them.
Yeah, this and Samil 34 are identical.
Identical.
I've done a taste
Lara
test
purple.
where I blindfolded myself just to see. I was able to identify them. Now I knew what was there. I just mixed them up. I didn't know which was which.
Right.
Just to see if I could. They're you know, they are that different in flavor that you know, they're
Wow.
different. They're different.
And to me, it's better than Haas.
Oh, of course.
This
Yeah.
is way
All
better.
of this is.
All these are better than Haas.
100%.
And 10 times bigger.
So here, my friend Fernando, see, yeah, aguachento, oh my God, buttery, I love it, right? So
Yeah,
people
some
have
people
different
love it.
tastes.
Yeah.
People have different tastes. Alex says thank you. The best avocado is the one you're eating, you're right.
Unless it's a Donnie.
Mar Rumble Shorts, watery versus buttery for California, green versus MacArthur equals MacArthur all day. I'm sorry, ma'am Rumbles, I don't understand your comment, sorry about that. Jupiter, please ask Julian how he uses freeze-dried avocado.
I've never done it.
Oh, he's never done it, but you've tasted it or just heard
Yeah,
of it?
yeah, I've tasted it.
Okay.
It's just a avocado chip.
Oh, so like a snap.
Everything turns into a chip.
You'd sit down and eat it
You
like
make
a
some
snack.
mashed potatoes, you
Okay.
put mashed potatoes in there, and it turns into a mashed potato chip.
Gotcha. Okay. So as a snack then. Yeah, Alex, the Monstera is super tasty. Super. I mean, look. I mean, I sell these for $25 a piece online, and I'm probably 25% of the price that everyone else who sells these sells them. Super expensive fruit, the Monstera.
It's just hard to harvest, hard to get into fruit.
Long time to grow, you know. But people, not only are people willing to spend the money, they're willing to take the risk of burning their lips. It is an amazing fruit.
You gotta take that one home.
I don't know, Alexi, I don't know if it's a type of philodendron or not.
It sure looks like one.
It does. Regents Aquariums, may I ask what you think about the Guatemalan, West Indian / Antillian, and the Mexican? So he, you know, I'd have to defer to you guys on that. I mean, do you have any, to talk a little bit about the three sort of
There's three different
sources.
kinds.
Yeah.
There's three different kinds of avocado. There's Mexican, which if you smell the leaf, if you break the leaf and smell it, it smells like black licorice. And then there's the Guatemalan types, which is the Haas, what is it? What's another?
Fuerte?
Fuerte, bacon.
Yeah.
Those are the Guatemalan types. And then there's the West Indian. Okay, and the West Indians are the Simmons, the Catalina, the Russell. They're from the West Indies, like in the Caribbean. Those are where they're native to. And then the fourth type is actually 4 different types. And the fourth type,
What?
yeah. And the fourth type, you ready what it's called?
Yeah.
Complex hybrid. And that's a hybrid between the West Indian and the Guatemalan. And you know what those are? The Choquettes, the Halls, the Monroes,
So a lot of what we
the,
grow here in
Lu-
Homestead.
the Lulas.
Wow.
Yeah, those are
Didn't know
complex
that.
hybrids.
Wow.
That's the fourth type.
Well, I read a very interesting book written by Wilson Pompano.
Wilson Pompano,
Yeah.
that's like the original
The original
Russell-looking-
avocado guy.
Original,
Yeah,
Russell-looking type avocado.
It's like an asymmetrical. It's almost like that other one we ate earlier that had the weird shape,
Eagle Rock
the Eagle Rock, but
Yeah.
in long neck form.
in long neck.
Right?
Yeah, it did have a weird shape.
What's your opinion of California avocados versus Florida ones?
Well, California avocados are just Guatemalan types.
I like them.
That's all they are.
I like the Hass.
I'm looking at name. There's one out in California that's really big. It's really nice. It's round. It grows here, but not well.
Well,
Just
okay.
looking for the name.
There's one called a Zutano, which is delicious, but it's not super big. A friend of mine who grew up in California brought a Zutano grafted tree with him, planted it in his front yard in Miami like 30 years ago. And he gives me Zutanos every year. They're delicious. Paul, there's a new one out there called Charwill. I thought it came from Hawaii. I think that one's pretty big and good.
That's not the name.
There's a reed that's
Reed.
big.
Reed,
Yeah, the
yeah.
reed is big and round.
Reed is excellent.
Yeah, that's a good one
It's
too.
like a big house.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one
That's
too.
the one I was looking
I
for.
like the Fuerte. I like the California varieties.
Fuerte, you could eat the skin. It's that thin.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
eat the skin, but I like the Fuerte.
No, bacon is thin too. Bacon is a thin skin, and bacon is the only avocado that grows excellent in California and also in Florida, because some do better or
No.
less better in certain area. But bacon does good in both. But to me, it's not near any as tasty as any of these.
All right, this is the Wilson seedless.
Okay, so that's him.
And it's sometimes seedless. It's not Wilson Pompano.
Oh,
This
okay.
is named after Richard Wilson from Excalibur Nursery.
Okay. Okay, so the Wilson Pompano is that other variety.
Is another guy.
But I could easily confuse them because that's like a
It
long
looks like
neck.
yeah.
Yeah.
You can confuse it. That's
Well,
right.
this Wilson Pompano, the book I read, is amazing, and I'm working on a video about it. But he was a researcher, a professor. He went down to South America to try to see how close he could find to like the original unadulterated. Oh, look at how small that seed is, though.
Yeah, sometimes they're seedless.
So though
I've
not
seen them
seedless-
I don't see a seed.
Barely, right? But that's an awful lot of
Oh,
flesh.
let me show you this. They say food is in nature. I'm a health teacher, right? So the food tells you what it's good for. So like the minerals in celery are great for your bones. Celery
Okay.
is the shape of bones. A carrot is great for your eyes.
Yeah.
If you cut open a carrot,
Looks
it
like
looks
an
like
eye.
the
I
eyes,
see where
right?
this is
So
going.
this is a pregnant woman. The oils in the avocado
Oh.
are great for a pregnant woman, and it's like the womb with the baby.
Let
Now,
me see.
you know, what do you think a Twinkie's good for? It looks like a coffin.
Your butt.
A what?
A coffin.
Coffin.
A Twinkie. It's
Paul,
not
let
good
me
for
see that
anything,
real
but look
quick.
at that.
You're
I
right.
thought you were going to refer to the shape from this perspective
No.
and say it was good for
For getting it up.
But anyway, this guy Wilson Pompano, his story is amazing. Now, it's not like scientific method. It's his observations and his speculations. But he went down into the areas in Central America and went with the natives, and he found before grafting, just their form of natural selection. So if you got a tree that gave a lot of avocados and they tasted good and you got nutrition from it, you didn't cut it down. And then that one survived to breed and give you another tree.
Even the worst avocado in the world
It's going to
is
sustain
going to
you.
give you the essential oils that you
It's
need.
going to sustain you, yeah.
I've had Wilson Seals before, and I did not like it. So let's see now.
Okay.
I don't think
So
so.
anyway, what he found were then the trees they didn't like, they would actually cut down. And then those wouldn't propagate. And so even by the early 20th century, like the 19 teens or whatever, there really was no non-man altered variety of avocado left.
This Wilson Seedless is in competition with Donnie for being the worst avocado I ever had.
Yeah, it does taste like Donnie.
It does.
It reminds me of Donnie a lot.
Yeah.
You know,
it does.
some people say it's good. I say it's good for nothing.
What is
Now,
it
actually,
good for?
Donnie is
Absolutely
Donnie's
not.
a very kind avocado. The kind of avocado you just want to throw out.
Throw out, yeah. Well, we got the Donnie killer, the atme.
Yes. Oh,
Tony, this guy here says the last
Tweet.
time I had a live,
That's
he
nice.
told me he wanted 17 fruit trees. Then he got up to 51. Now he's at 53 and he's waiting for you to send him his Jamaican. He must have a Jamaican, thank you, darling. He must have a Jamaican on order from you.
Yeah.
A Jamaican Mame.
There's a line for
Okay, Team Tabaris, Fernando wants a tip. Once the avocado is open and you only eat half, how do you put the rest in the freezer? I wouldn't put it in the freezer.
that. No, put it in the refrigerator.
I'd put it in the fridge and I would seal it with saran wrap or cling wrap or an airtight Tupperware as you suggested.
Yeah.
Anything that keeps oxygen from touching it.
When it turns black, is it still edible or no?
A little
The
bit.
flesh, I eat it. I don't care, but
The skin turns black, you can still eat it.
Dude.
No, the flesh.
Oh, I don't know.
it doesn't taste as good, but I'll eat right through. But
it
I'll
harmful?
eat a guava with
It's
a
not
worm in
harmful.
it. I
Did
don't
it hurt
care.
you though? Is it harmful?
No.
No, no. But
Well, if it-
don't
if
take
it-
that out of the
It
advice from me.
ferments. It ferments, and that could.
But I eat Wendy's and stuff, so you don't want to take nutritional advice from me. But I'll eat a with a worm in it. I don't even look at my loquats. I just shovel them in my mouth. I don't care.
Yeah.
You're getting that Wilson taste out of your mouth, ain't you?
Yeah.
With some Mame.
Telling you.
Gary Simpson is here. Fantastic. Where's the rest of your brothers? He's one of my bots. The Monstera tastes great, but sometimes it bites back. He's very good at referencing my videos. You're right.
It does bite back.
It does bite back.
If you dig in too deep.
Yeah. Jupiter, you're right. People are either getting bought out or taxed out. You know, it's not a new story. You know?
Taxed out is another thing.
Yeah.
I just got my taxes in the mail.
Shit, don't even, please. I have to keep a
Already?
positive
Already.
composure.
Property taxes.
It's like a John Cougar Mellencamp video when you're driving around here now. You know, like I was born in a small. You just see everything's changing. You know.
I find authority always.
That too. Yeah. Cupcake us too. We hate to see them clearing land.
You know, this area used to supply avocados to the entire North American
Insane.
continent.
Now tell everybody about the laurel wilt because
Yeah.
a lot of acres are going bad from that.
Yeah,
That's
not
because they're connected. That's because the trees are so old that the roots are connected with each other. So if one gets it, everybody gets it.
Yeah. Oh, Rim Purple's here. How you doing? So, I had NBC News come out to my farm last Monday, and they called me up and they said, "Hey, we're doing a story on laurel wilt, and who better to talk to than you?" And I said, "Well, Jonathan Crane." I said, "He's better to talk to than me because he knows he's the scientist. I'm just the farmer." And his office is only right across the street, which is where we're getting these atmes and these Jamaica mangoes and all this kind of stuff. So they came and they interviewed Jonathan. Then they came to my farm to see how farmers deal with laurel wilt. So we had our shredder. We have a big machine called a shredder, and we don't cut a tree down. We have a machine. We just go up on arms and we just shred the tree down. Then we drill a hole, drill it out, and then we stick a new tree in its place. So I did that for the news, and then they interviewed me, and they were asking me about the future of the avocado industry and laurel wilt's impact, et cetera, and what do I predict in 10 years and in 20 years. And I'm no expert in predictions and stuff like that, but I'm very comfortable giving my opinion. And I said, my opinion is laurel wilt's not the threat. Economic and housing development is the threat.
Wow, that's
Right?
That's right.
Right?
That is
Yeah.
absolutely right. Because
Yeah.
you can always plant another tree.
You
and
can
get
always
fruit.
plant another tree.
In less than 5 years, be back in business.
Yeah. But I think our farms are going to be replaced with housing developments long before laurel wilt overtakes. Also, it's slowing down. All us farmers now have a pipeline. Well, I don't. He's my pipeline. But you know, bigger farms are grafting and growing their own trees. When I need I'll just buzz down about 5 or 6 trees. I go up see Julian. I come home. I plant new ones. And so we're adapting to laurel wilt. So the bigger threat isn't that laurel wilt's going to kill the industry. It's land development.
Right. Well, you know, in the beginning, this used to be, you know, just a jungle.
Yep.
And then farmers came in, and we killed the jungle.
Yep.
And then it was, at one point, it was just all avocado farms and mango farms that were supplying the whole continent. And then that was the main source of income. That was like the main way to make money in the Redlands, was selling and growing limes, avocado, and mango. And then when that became to be the, you know, when something else came that could make even more money than growing fruit, that went down. And what killed that a little bit was ornamental nurseries.
Yep.
Ornamental nurseries will come and knock down hundreds of acres of avocado.
Because of the
or
housing
mango.
boom.
No, to make trees. Well, because of
Yeah,
the housing
because of the
boom,
housing
to make
boom.
to sell flowering trees in the ornamental nurseries. And now you can make even more money making houses
Yeah.
where the ornamental nurseries are now.
Yeah, because nobody wanted to live down here and commute 4 hours a day.
That's right. That's right.
I don't get
Now
it.
the prices are so expensive in the city of Miami, in the Miami area, that you can't even imagine buying a house over there because it's so expensive. So the only place to do it, only place where there's room
Yeah.
for affordable house, like we're talking about $700,000, $600,000
Yeah.
for like a decent brand new house.
Quarter acre type place.
Quarter acre type of place is down here.
Down here.
It's the only place.
Yeah. And what's happening to me now, I'll finish picking and I'm in traffic. Like I'm towing a picking machine behind me. I'm a farm vehicle.
You're creating the traffic.
I am the
That
traffic.
too.
But since when are tractors part of traffic.
They're
Like
like
you're used
behind
to
you,
seeing,
beating their horn.
you're used to seeing like
People
LA
are
bumper to
figuring-
bumper, New York City bumper to bumper. I'm commuting in traffic now in a farm vehicle.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
little
people are figuring out Redland Road.
Yeah, exactly. I know.
Figuring out that, hey, this is a
Yeah.
shortcut.
Yeah.
Hey, this is a less traffic
Which,
area.
by the way, you can't fit two cars going north and south. They're running their tires off the side of the road, going up and down it. You know. Yeah.
What is this?
Okay, this one is called Cusme number 8.
Never heard of it.
CUSME number 8.
Okay, and again, more of like the
I've never had
atme, the whiter, lighter colored
Pale,
flesh.
yeah.
Ooh. That's strong. Wow.
I get a very rich walnut.
I get the walnut big time.
Yeah, very rich walnut.
Big time. A little bit of a vegetable-ish flavor. Could be maybe if it was picked a little early too. I don't know. Do you know the time? Sometimes you get that vegetable flavor.
I mean, look at the color of his skin.
Is that this guy here?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's nice.
Where'd you get this from?
I like it. I like it.
I don't care for this one.
I like it.
You like top notch. You don't have. You can't waste your time. You can't be messing around. You need top notch for your backyard.
And
You're thinking about limited space and high density.
And also, for those of you who don't know Paul, he only eats raw fruit and vegetables. And every year, he only eats almost what he grows. Like, I think, probably half of the calories you consume,
least.
you grow yourself. And that grows every year as you're...
And even my own trees. If something better comes along, I'll leave the top work and
yank
cut it out.
Yeah, I've seen you do it. I saw you do it last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Donnie.
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you cut it down yet?
Yep. Cut it in half. I'm waiting for it to grow back to top work.
Okay.
And that choquette that was in his corner of his front yard,
Yep,
he had
yep.
top work since we've been there. Catalia says never get an avocado that has the appeal label on it. I don't know
Oh, okay.
is that a chemical?
It's a coating
Okay.
to I guess to make it last longer.
Okay. Yeah, I get a lot of
from
questions
Bill
about
Gates.
that.
Bill
We
Gates
don't.
came up with that.
Okay, we don't use that here. Okay, where
It
was
does,
I?
Tom, it doesn't appeal to you?
It does not appeal to me.
Okay, good.
Dad.
Now let me give everybody another tip here. From where I am, is the bigger the supermarket, the less of a chance you're gonna get a good avocado.
Oh, really?
If you go to like the small bodegas, for some reason they
So
have
fruit
better
markets.
avocados.
Yeah.
Farmers markets, better chance.
Yeah.
But
Well-
the bigger the supermarket, the harder the chance.
Again, it goes back to what I've been saying. It's more about the handling and the logistics than the fruit itself. They're chilled, they're gassed, they're irradiated, they're heat treated.
And they're always chilled. When a supermarket buys avocados, they're throwing it in the freezer, in
Yes,
the refrigerator,
the fridge.
until it's ready to come out.
Yes.
And so
You put it in the front seat of your car and they start to sweat.
Yeah.
That makes them watery and bland. Whereas your smaller stores, your fruit stands, they're like us. They're just going right off the tree. Who wants to know here? Craig Jacob wants to know about the best cold hardy avocado. He's in zone 9A
yes,
in the Mississippi Gulf Coast.
that's a question I get often.
I
What, what can we grow
Ooh, I like that.
in a
Sorry, go
The
ahead.
Cusme? The
Yeah, I like-
Cusme?
yeah. Sorry,
Number
Paul. Go
8?
ahead.
For semi
I won't
water.
cuss you, don't worry.
Yeah. Don't cuss.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a question I get a lot. What can people grow in zone 9A and zone 8B?
Guatemalan types.
Guatemalan type.
Yeah, Guatemalan types.
I know
Like in
Brogdon
California.
is cold hardy.
Brogdon, Oro Negro is said to be the most cold hardy. I don't know that
Black skin ones
for
are,
sure.
are known for the West Indian black skins that are tropical tend to handle the cold a lot better.
Monroe are good.
But Day,
Day avocados one I haven't tasted yet.
excellent.
I know, I
loved it.
hear
I
it.
loved it.
I hear that.
I was very surprised.
Where is it?
It's not ready yet.
But the
But
main
that's,
thing
that's this season though. What season is day? Isn't it now?
It's like a fall to.
I thought it was summer.
No,
It's-
no.
the important
Still
thing
very small.
The important thing you need to keep in mind though when we're talking about cold hardiness is that rating is for a mature tree. If you have trees in pots, if you have little seedlings that are only an inch across or 3 inches in diameter, you still have to take pretty big measures if you're getting a frost or a freeze. That, you know, a cold hardy Oro Negro, we're talking about a 10, 12-year-old tree with a significant trunk, a significant natural mulch pile underneath where you've got all the breakdown and the decomposition, which creates heat that rises up into the canopy. But just because you have an Oro Negro in a pot in your backyard and it's going to dip below 32, you better roll that sucker into the garage that night. Julian,
Yeah.
tell me what this is. Well, let's do this. Where's the knife? Did we lose the knife?
No, we got it right
So tell them what this is.
here. Carambola,
Also known as,
star fruit.
and this is the reason it's also known as star fruit.
Cut them into star slices.
They look like a star when you slice them, right?
Now, which one is this? This is the carry?
I don't know because
looks like a carry.
a guy gave it to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Looks like a carry.
yeah. So so most people who've had star fruit know it as a garnish because it's got a rough shelf life. It's not really something you
Well,
can pick and shake.
and a lot of them, I mean, star fruit started out as a sour fruit. Super sour.
That
And it was
good.
only used as a garnish because it was so sour.
Yeah.
Do you have a tree?
I've got a star fruit tree, but I will walk past my star fruit tree and the 5 miles to Julian's just to smell one of his Lara, or I don't know what you call it,
Yeah, Lara.
the Lara variety.
Which was
Star
a seedling of an orchid.
Let me tell you something. They grow big, deep purple, pinkish orange,
Yeah.
like a salmon.
Yeah. Very crunchy.
Oh, they are so good. I actually took one off the ground the other day.
Yeah.
I didn't think
It
it
kind of
would.
like candy.
I asked Kenneth if it would be okay.
It's fine. It tastes like carambola candy.
They are amazing. And but the problem with growing them is you pick one and it shakes the tree and 10 fall to the ground. The smallest thunderstorm with a little bit of wind knocks them off
they
the
rattle
tree.
really easy.
Yeah. And they don't have much of a shelf life. And my dad is famous for sending me a picture from Wegmans up in Pennsylvania. Star fruit, $4 each. Tommy, how many is on the tree, on the ground underneath your tree? There'll be 100 because they produce like crazy.
Yeah, they do.
I'll be like, Dad, there's 100. He'll be like, you could have got $400 for that. I'm like, no, I can't because
Yeah.
it's the logistics, not the fruit that you're buying.
That's right.
You know, it's getting it there that's
And
expensive.
at the end of the day, a lot of people end up not buying it.
That's right. That's right. It's like a novelty.
Right.
But when people come here to visit, or when I'm out working, when I'm on the mower and I just drive over, grab one, it is such a refreshing snack right off the
This
tree.
is a good tree for someone to grow like in New York City.
Really?
Yeah, because it makes fruit right away.
And it'll what? Semi-indoor, semi-outdoor?
Well, and bring it inside in the winter.
Really?
Yes. Bring it inside the house, put it next to a window in the winter, and then bring it out when it's hot again.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, it makes a ton of fruit, and right away it's like instant gratification.
Yeah.
It's not a shy bearer, and
No.
it starts to make fruit right away,
Mine fruits
even
3
in
times
a
year.
pot.
Yeah, mine fruit 3 times a year.
It grows really well. I was just up in Spring Hill. My friend Pete has Green Dreams, and that's an hour north of Tampa.
Uh-huh.
And no problems growing star fruit up there.
But again, star fruit,
Outside.
carambola, delicious. I'm kind of ignoring the chat,
They
so
recover.
you guys carry me for a minute while I check on the chat, okay?
Sure.
All right, and by the way, I'm not being rude. I'm uploading it to mine as well, so that's why I'm always looking here. I'm not ignoring them. They're not ignoring me. I'm just trying to post it to my people to let them know about this great chat because it's wonderful that you brought us here and to taste all these. because
Yeah,
this
and
is
plus you can
good
you
stuff.
can continue this thing. You can take all the ones that haven't ripened yet and try it at your house.
Yeah, we will, and we'll do it with a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Margaret Sherman wants to know, she lives in Sebastopol, California, and gets rumors. Some say you can grow decent avocados, others say you can't, but they have avocado farms. I'll tell you right now, if you live somewhere where something is farmed, then you absolutely can grow it.
That's north. I've been there many times.
Yeah, but because farmers ain't gonna plant something that they have to struggle to make it grow. There's a reason we grow corn in Iowa. There's a reason we grow strawberries in Florida. You know, it's so without even Googling your zip code, if there's avocado farms where you live, there's no way a farmer would be in business if they were struggling to grow avocados there. So I would say the answer is yes. The more general answer is Google your USDA hardiness zone. And if it's 8A or above, you can grow avocados. Robert Gonzalez wants to know about the Marcus pumpkin. I've not tried it.
I almost brought one.
Really?
Brought one, but I thought they were still too little.
Yeah.
I've had it.
I'm not crazy.
There's a reason why they call it a pumpkin. It's really big.
Yeah.
But I don't like it at all. I tasted it several times. I tasted it at Alex's, and also Mike at Trees and More has a tree. Not an avocado I'd recommend. Some people love it. Some people absolutely love it, but they haven't tasted these other ones. That's why they love it. When you taste these other ones that you can have in the same spot, I'd go for one of these others before I went to that. And you talk about a big avocado. Those are
It's
super
like
big.
that.
Yeah.
And they have like little ridges, like a pumpkin or something, like
Yeah,
little segments.
yeah.
They look like segments, but they're not.
So Norma wants to know which avocado is good for avocado fries. And I would definitely say the Miguel, because it's nice and firm, little almost rubbery, not like rubbery in an annoying way, but it's firm. And we tried a couple here today that had that firmness. The Samil,
The Lara, purple.
this little guy we just tried too that I liked and Paul didn't. The
Cusme.
Cusme. That was firm, yeah.
And which other? I mean, Berniker was nice and firm too.
Yeah. Margaret Sherman, you have 2 plants grown from seed. If you could keep the deer off from her growing nice, will they fruit on their own or do they need to be grafted before they'll fruit? They will fruit on their own, but you might have to wait 10 years and you might get a nasty fruit, which is why we always recommend grafting. On the other hand, every now and then you strike gold and you get like this atme. So it really is up to you. What we try to do on our channels is educate you. I feel like the facts are always friendly. People come at me sometimes because they think I'm opposed to growing avocados from seed. I'm not. Grow an avocado from seed. You just have to know. I've grown an avocado from seed. It's got its first fruit on it this year. I waited 9 seasons, right? I have no issue with that at all. But the facts are always friendly. It's on average going to take you 10 years.
Well, it takes usually almost as long as a human takes to reach sexual maturity.
Which is what?
8 to 10 years, I guess.
Yeah. Fruit is, a seed is a tree's baby. And a
Correct.
seed is inside the fruit.
Correct.
Right?
And when you plant the seed, you don't know what you're getting.
So you don't know what
if
you're
the
going to
seed-
get.
If it's going to grow up to be a doctor or a delinquent.
Yep.
And when you get a delinquent, you don't want any more of those.
Nope.
You don't want to graft that. You don't want to clone a delinquent. You want to clone the doctor.
You want to clone
so
the
you
doctor.
have a whole grove
Yeah.
of doctors.
And we already have a table full of doctors right here. Why not make it easy, right?
Oh, there could be a couple of delinquents.
There could be.
There's something I heard that I bet neither of you heard.
What's that?
The avocado seed's edible.
Never heard that?
Yeah.
Yes.
You could. I know somebody.
Medicinal, it cures this,
I
it
know
cures
somebody
that.
who
You gotta
was-
grind it.
This Japanese guy had a study out of something, and he was big into eating seeds like of everything.
Yeah.
Just blend them up in your meal.
Yeah.
But you got to cut them in half, otherwise they'll go around the blender like a ping pong
Right, you
ball.
pulverize
Cut it
it.
in half, put it in the Vitamix with whatever, and eat it that way. He said, and I didn't look into it, that it's very nutritional, a lot of nutrients.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've tried it. If you blend it up with enough stuff, you don't taste it.
You don't taste
Some
it.
people say it's great. Some people say it's medicinal.
It cures
I don't know,
diabetes.
but I do know it's not going to kill you because I've done it and I'm living.
Yeah, you pulverize it, you grind it up, and then you sprinkle it on your salad. You put it in your smoothie. You sprinkle it on your rice and beans. And you don't even taste it. You don't even know it's there.
Yeah, yeah. So that's
Paul, do you eat the seed from jackfruit? People keep telling me you could
from
do that.
jackfruit you could boil them
Yeah.
and they taste like a roasted chestnut.
Yeah.
Julian, let's show them
I
what
love-
a jackfruit is.
I love
Slide this way.
Jackfruit seeds.
This is a jackfruit.
I don't actually eat
These
that.
things are gigantic.
I don't eat the
That's
seeds,
probably
though.
about 17, 18 pounds. That's a jackfruit. And that is full. There's a core that has little pods coming off it, almost like flower petals. And inside each petal is a seed. What is this one?
I don't know.
Probably a seed. Could
Where'd
be a
you get it
seedling.
from?
One of my YouTube fans gave it to my wife.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
my
it
wife.
seems like an easy peel.
Let's dig in, bro. Is it ready or?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, well, let's just jump right into some jackfruit. And while y'all do that, no, we might need another towel and maybe a little bowl of hot water
There
because
you
we're
go,
gonna.
Tom. Check it out. This is easy peel.
Oh, get over here, Noe. Look, so tell. Okay, so this is a jackfruit. So tell them what you mean by easy peel.
that it's easy to get into.
Easy to get into, right?
Yeah, you don't need to fight with all the stickiness. I mean,
Did you,
all the
did you have to like take like weeks to figure that one out? That was really
no.
easy peel.
Yeah.
Basically, many of the soft ones are easy peel.
You just
but
Which means you could just break right into them without a knife.
you can tell us what
I even like the strings.
you know.
How is it?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Noe, can you text your friend and see if they happen to know the variety?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
The latex and
No,
It's my understanding that of
it's really
of
easy
all the
peel.
tropical fruits down here,
Kind of looks like a china.
jackfruit tends to grow
The spikes
pretty
look
good
like a
from
chino.
seed. So there's a lot of seedling
It's kind
jackfruit
of melts in
varieties
your
around.
mouth, like
Wow.
a chino.
Wow.
Wow.
here's the seeds you could eat. These are the seeds you could eat. You gotta cook them.
So Noe,
You gotta
this
cook
is
them. You can't eat
from,
them
who am I
raw.
thanking?
It's like a
Marcos and Marble.
Marcos and Maribel?
Marble.
Thank you, Marcos and Maribel. This is a, oh my God, is that good?
It's a natural aphrodisiac.
Jesus.
Wow.
Wow, is that
Okay,
good?
we're
Get
gonna
some
get
for the
some-
girls, Noe. now we see, Laura, you like the jackfruit? Wow, is that good? God damn it, it took our whole live stream to a screeching halt. So what took us here was we were talking about are the
The
avocado seeds edible? And
Jackfruit too.
I mentioned, yeah, and I mentioned there's a pod or a petal in, you know, that's what makes up the jackfruit, and inside each one, or inside most of them, is a little seed,
I gotta show you a
which I'm
picture.
told you can boil these like peanuts.
That's this,
I'm told you they boil up like boiled peanuts,
You
no?
boil it in some salty water, okay, and you can eat them. You eat a whole. I usually make like a whole bowl and just eat it like if it was popcorn watching a movie. It tastes like chickpeas, boiled potatoes, and chestnuts at the same
Oh.
time.
That is so good. A couple comments on the star fruit. Well, first of all, Transit Miguel is enjoying the Miguel avocados he bought from me, your namesake. So I'm glad you're enjoying those. Cupcake Betty loves star fruit.
I
Artful
hope you
Watcher.
don't have any viewers named Donnie.
Artful Watcher is struggling with grafting. I'm sure you two agree. My advice is just keep practicing.
Buy some buddy tape
Keep practicing.
and keep practicing. Watch videos.
Grow
I have a
way.
great video that I just put out with
I
Charles
saw it. It's
Pop- yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah,
It's wonderful.
really good. And he
You got it? You
I
got
think
it?
so.
He mentioned you on there because Armando was grafting some stuff, and he started using that, and he's very impressed.
Oh,
with
that's
it.
fantastic,
He mentioned
yeah.
it on the video, but
That's awesome.
So using
definitely
what?
the method that his friend Armando uses to graft the trees. But watch the video on Fruitful Trees because it was posted like last week with Charles Pollock. Really good.
Yeah, yeah. And I like just go to town, man. Just plant as many seeds as you can.
Yeah.
And look, if you get a bunch and you got to give them away or throw them away, who cares, you know? Yeah, great dooryard tree
Now,
cupcake for
I
a
got a
star
question.
fruit. Yeah,
You
yeah.
said Lula is a good rootstock.
Yeah.
Is there any avocado tree that's a bad rootstock that you wouldn't recommend?
I use any avocado as a rootstock. As long as they're healthy and strong, that's all that matters. Doesn't matter what variety it is.
So it doesn't matter. So why do you say Lula's a good one? Aren't they all good?
Because it was the
Nice big
most
fat one.
most used avocado out there, most planted avocado, most available avocado. Now, and it had a big seed, so the seedling will come out nice and thick. Walden is another one, but Walden is known to have disease resistance, root disease resistance.
Okay.
And the seed, the shoot comes out nice and thick and ready to graft
Ready to
right when
graft.
it's
Could
born.
you graft Guatemalan on a
Sure.
different Mexican?
Sure,
or
sure.
They're
so
all
it-
within the same
So it
countries.
don't matter.
Don't matter.
We actually export a lot of Walden seeds from here to the Hasgroves over in California. They buy them off the big avocado
They
farmers.
use it for rootstock.
Yeah, for rootstock.
Because it's actually the best for rootstock.
John F. loves his Bell Star fruit. And then
Oh,
Cupcake
man.
Betty wants to know, is it Laura or Lara? and you're gonna hear both here because Paul's wife is named Laura,
Yeah.
and Julian is named Laura, but we're referring to the Lara, L-A-R-A.
Okay.
I had just set it down. I had Noe bring some water. A lot of times there's
You
latex.
can wash my feet.
That jackfruit was good.
Yeah.
That
I think it was a Chino.
So it's Lara.
Yeah, it's Laura
Yeah.
and Lara.
Lara is Julian. Laura is.
So he says Lara Farms?
It's Lara.
Lara.
So I always say Laura Farms.
Like Lara
Lara.
Croft.
Lara. Okay, and then we got Greater Good says star fruit is refreshing on hot days. Artful Wilcher wants to know where is Lara Farms hat at? Okay, I'm going to tell you something. about this.
Wait.
Yeah.
Star fruit, there's several different varieties. If you're just gonna get a star fruit, some of them are not sweet, so be careful. I have a Carrie, Belle, Arnican, and Laura has one that, Lara, Julian has one that's good. But there's a saying about it that if you have kidney issues,
You gotta eat a lot.
you gotta be careful because if you eat too much star fruit, it can
Yeah, I heard
it
that
can
too.
affect you.
I
So,
heard that too.
Yeah.
But you gotta eat a lot of it for it to affect you.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I don't know because people say I mean, who knows what a lot is? Because I heard it's not like any. Because if you eat a lot, soup a lot of anything, it's not good. But they say specifically, you got to be careful with star fruit. Just keep that in mind, everyone.
There was a lady that ate so much carrots that she's turned orange.
Yeah.
And she didn't know why she was turning orange,
Yeah.
and she went to the doctor. The doctors couldn't figure it out. And when they asked her, "What do you eat? Is something that you eat?" "Oh, I just eat, carrots and this and that." "How many carrots?" "Oh, just a couple of bunches." "What's a bunch?" "About 12. "So how many of those bunches do you eat a day?" "About 3 or 4. And no wonder she was turning orange. It was all
I
beta carotene.
had a coworker. The palms of his hands turned orange because he was juicing so much carrot. The doctor told him back off a little.
And carrot's delicious as a juice.
But I need to answer this question, where's Julian's hat? If you had a head of hair like that at our age, you would
There
not
you
wear a
go.
hat. Just like if I had abs, I wouldn't be wearing a shirt right
There you
now.
go.
yeah, be doing like Robert Kennedy.
Hell yeah. Tony got a star fruit tree from Julian. It's in desperate need of pruning. Anyone know if you can prune it like a peach tree? They tend to grow like a weed. You
Very
guys might
easily.
disagree.
What are you talking about?
A star fruit. He wants to prune it.
Yeah.
I just cut them.
Cut it in half. Cut it in half.
They
It's not gonna hurt.
are they're like a weed.
It's
dude.
hard to kill it.
It's not like a mango where you
Just cut the heaviest, thickest branch.
The middle ones that go
electrical
straight up.
issue over there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The middle ones that go straight up,
Yeah.
cut those. And all fruit trees, try to cut the ones that go
The heaviest.
inward and
Yeah, the heaviest,
Hi,
thickest
Smith's
one.
Empire. How you doing?
And leave all the laterals.
yeah.
And there will be a hat one day. I'm working on the shirts. I'm doing guanabana.
Yeah.
I'm doing mango. I'm doing
I love
durian,
your Mame.
jackfruit.
I love your Mame logo.
Yeah, and it has like 9 different colors in here.
Yeah. Okay, Matt R., you sent me a DM on Facebook to identify your avocado. I'll do my best. Boom Snap Clap wants to know our favorite avocado. We all said it, but I'm going to count to 3, and let's all say our favorite avocado at the same time.
I gotta
1.
think about it. Wait.
Okay, take your time. I'll count down from 5.
Can't rush them. Can't rush
I'll
them.
count down from 5.
Well, on the favorite from this table, from this sitting right now,
Favorite.
from this table.
You got 1. You can say 1
I
and
like
1 only.
I like Samil 34.
Wait, I'm going to count down, bro. I'm counting down.
This
5,
table.
4, 3, 2, 1. Lula.
No, with no Lula today, man.
I don't care. It's my favorite
But it's not
avocado.
on the table.
Well, this question is, what's your favorite avocado? What's y'all's favorite avocado? They didn't caveat it.
Well,
with
I
what's
said it
on the
earlier.
table.
It was Ronnie, but on this table, I like the Lara, purple Lara, and the Samil
See,
34.
I tried my hardest to make them say one
And the
variety.
atme, and the
You
atme.
can't ask a
Totally
fruit
atme.
guy.
Atme.
You can't.
This table,
Okay.
yeah, man.
It's just too many. I
You
forget
can't
what we.
ask a fruit guy his favorite fruit. You can't. They're not going to tell you just one. It's like asking who your favorite child is. They're never going to give you one.
No, it's all of them.
Yeah.
But Lara, purple, the atme, Samil 34 was surprised. The Berniker surprised me. I remember having good memories of Berniker, but it was so long ago. And there's a lot we haven't tasted yet. You're gonna have to do like a part 2.
Yeah. Miho Simpson. How you doing, Gary? Or Alex or Marcus? I have a guy that pretends to be a bot under a lot of different names.
Oh yeah.
Right now he's under the Miho Simpson or Mijo, depending on what language, I guess. Do we sell star fruit? No, we do not. He's very entertaining.
I sell them. I sell it.
Oh, you sell them
Yeah,
online?
yeah.
The trees or the fruit?
Both.
Oh, never mind then. I'm sorry. Tell them.
And I take a lot of trouble packaging them.
You'd
I wrap
have-
them
you-
in
you-
craft
yeah,
paper.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah.
A lot to make it nice and cushiony, and I put extra craft paper in the box so that, and I put a lot of stickers that say fragile. Hopefully the guys at UPS will see those stickers, because I put on every side, I put a sticker that says
Yeah.
fragile.
Tell us. They want to know about. Is there such thing as a dwarf avocado tree?
Well, Maria Black is a dwarf.
Maria Black,
considered to be a
Maria
dwarf.
Black is a dwarf, and then there's the what is it? The warts, not the warts.
The Wirtz, that little cado, is
Yeah,
advertised
avocado,
as
yeah,
a dwarf.
avocado,
It
yeah.
still gets to 30 by 30, but it grows dwarfishly, like outward
Yeah,
with the hidden
a
fruit.
dwarf tree doesn't mean it's small. It means it grows,
Grows slow.
slow.
If you guys see my Brooks Slate avocado, I haven't pruned it back in 25 years. And it's the smallest, stubbiest tree I have
Wow.
in my collection.
Wow.
I have about 40 different kinds in my collection. And that one is the smallest one. And no, I don't try all of them every year. I can't.
All right, Paul and Julian, there's two types of Guatemalan Mame that you guys have been playing around with on your videos lately, the G1 and the G3.
Well, the only one that anybody's ever tasted is the G3.
Oh, the
the G1 hasn't been tasted. The only human beings that have ever tried that G1 is myself, Chemo,
Yeah.
Captain Chemo.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I know somebody else.
Okay, I know somebody else too.
Okay.
And what's the other names? It's the Zane's World.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were able to try it too, but the G3 is what Paul was showcasing in his videos.
Tastes like cherries.
It tastes like cherries.
Yeah. So tell me, what do you prefer, the G1 or the G3?
G1.
Okay,
G1.
you prefer the G1?
Oh yeah, G1.
You sent me home with the G3. I
Yes.
liked it.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah.
And you liked the G3, obviously, in your
Loved
video.
it.
Yeah, everybody loved it.
Yeah, very
Everybody
good.
loved it. It's
Yeah.
excellent. But G1 is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I looked at the tree, and it doesn't look like there's going to be more than 15 or 20 fruits on one tree.
Transit Miguel said, I know who you are now. Yeah, thanks for coming out to the Fan Appreciation Day. I know exactly who you are. Cupcake Betty, you want to do an avocado charcuterie board with friends, but you don't know anyone local to you
Like a poster.
with mature avocado trees with the known variety of fruit. Yeah. Well, Julian, you sell a variety box or no? Of avocado?
Yes.
I typically don't.
5 pound or 10 pound.
Okay, Julian sells a variety box. I typically don't because I'm running more. He's running a nursery. So Julian
I got a
wants.
collection of 40 varieties.
Yeah, Julian wants variety because he's going to harvest seedlings and create more trees for next year. I sell fruit. And so when I send my guys out to pick, we're picking 12, 15,000 pounds at a time. And you don't mix and match fruit when you're going to the packing house. So I'll say, guys, go out and pick 12,000 pounds of fruit, send 11 bins to the packing house, and then I'm going to send a bin out to my customers. So I typically only send one variety at a time. Julian sends a variety batch.
Right.
So if you're someone who wants to try a mix, go to larafarmsmiami.com, get a mix box off of Julian.
Yeah, and I do mix boxes, and if you want a box of just Simmons, I can do a box of just Simmons. If you want a box of just Donnie's, I can do a box of just Donnie's.
Nobody wants a box of Donnies.
Well, you never know.
I know.
I have plenty of customers that do.
A box of Donnies?
Plenty.
I mean, that's like something
Plenty.
like a Pickering, right? A Pickering.
I love
mango.
Pickering. I have customers. That's why I'm keeping about 5 Donnie trees. I'm top working a bunch of my Donnies to Russell at my other grove. But I'm keeping a few Donnies because I have customers that love
You
them.
went to Dale Erickson's house and be like, how can you like
Yeah.
Pickering when I'm showing you the Sunset Mango? It's much superior. How can you not like this better?
James Bateman said, you guys are going to make a mess, and he's right. Greater Good's wife loves to eat the jackfruit seeds. I'm going to try them. Cupcake Betty, you still need to try jackfruit. I'm telling you right now, try it. I'm resisting the urge. You're doing it. I'm resisting the urge to reach back and just keep
back there
eating
and
it.
get it,
It is, and I'm stuffed
I don't
already.
know what you're talking about.
It is so good.
Yeah, you gotta have part two.
So Alex, the part about the friendly facts, but some people just ain't friendly. Yeah, I always list the pros and cons of grafting versus the pros and cons of growing from seed. Some people are tinkerers. Some people want to know that they planted a seed, they waited the 7, the 10, the 12 years, they got a fruit, and they loved it. Other people I have people that are very honest with me. They're like, Tom, I'm 78 years old. I can't wait 10 years. What can I get?
I hear that a lot.
Right? you know?
I get that a lot.
So people kind of come at me when I talk about some of the negative or downsides of growing from seeds, but it's biology. What can you say? You know?
And if you get something good from growing a seed, you can name it after yourself, and that'll be
Exactly.
your legacy for the rest of your
Exactly.
life,
Exactly.
or forever.
Yeah. But there is I think a misconception that like we in the industry are opposed to it. I mean, your very industry, the nursery side of it is all about growing from seed and coming up with new varieties.
Or finding it in the wild.
Yeah.
Like for example, Pupai Kalai. You know, like y'all know what Pupai
Lemon
Kalai
meringue.
is.
Lemon meringue.
That was found in the jungle.
Yeah.
In Myanmar.
Yeah.
And it's where it's native to. And if it wasn't for the jungle and it being a seedling growing wild, that would have never existed. And lychees is another wild fruit in China, and where a lot of varieties come from the jungle. A lot of these seedless varieties like Hakip and Sweetheart are grown from seed that made a tree that bore fruit with an aborted seed. It's like an infertile woman that can't have kids.
Yeah. Julian or Paul, because you grow I just remember you grow jackfruit too. What would you tell a first-time jackfruit grower who has fruit on his tree for the first time ever, and he is up in Tampa?
Jackfruit grower?
He's got a jackfruit tree with a jackfruit on it. When does he pick it? He
When
wants
it's
to know.
soft,
When
Okay.
it smells.
when it smells, or when
It'll
it's
smell.
we can yield to slight pressure, like an avocado. So you see me going like this
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm looking for a slight yield
Of
to
sponginess.
pressure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you roast jackfruit seeds or only boil them?
You can roast them. I
Okay.
would boil it first and then roast it. But
Okay.
you can try just straight up roasting it and see what happens. I've tried roasting it, and I guess I did it wrong. I
Yeah.
did it too high,
Yeah.
and they started boiling, started
Yeah.
bubbling.
Yeah. Greater Good also says, yeah, when you can start to smell the jackfruit, it's time to harvest it. George Castellanos wants to know if you could buy a seed from the jackfruit we just enjoyed. I mean, of all the tropical fruits we grow, and correct me if I'm wrong here, I've heard from more people that have had success growing jackfruit from seed. Apparently it's not as heterozygous or whatever. You have a little more luck growing a jackfruit from seed. Is that true or not?
It's more true to seed than other things. However, you gotta look at your situation. If you have the room to just grow a tree and see what happens, great. But even though it's a highly rate that it'll grow similar, why take the chance when for $30 you can get a tree
Yeah.
that you know what it is?
And-
I'd recommend.
Yeah, and seedlings grow straight like a candle.
Right,
Well,
like a
fruit
telephone
trees-
pole.
Well,
Yeah.
fruit trees are more, have more personality.
Yeah,
You mean
yeah.
a grafted tree?
Grafted trees.
Yeah.
Drafted, and you want that. You want a wider, more round tree. You want your fruit growing closer to the ground. You want more exposure, more surface area to the sun.
Right, but the reason why they grow like a candle is because in nature they're competing
They,
for
they want to
sunlight
get the sun.
in the rainforest or wherever they're from.
Right, first
First
one
one
to
that
the
gets
top
up
of the
there
canopy
wins.
wins. Yeah.
However, I know somebody up in next to Excalibur, and their whole front yard is filled with jackfruit trees. They planted them like 5 feet next to each other, the seedlings, and they just go straight up and
Wow.
have fruit.
Well, so George, the recommendation would be if you can get your hands on some jackfruit and you want to try to plant it from seed, plant it from seed. Otherwise, of the three of us, Julian's the only one here who sells trees. LaraFarmsMiami.com, and he'll sell you
And
a
I
jackfruit tree.
got the red flesh jackfruit.
Oh, he's got-
I got the orange flesh jackfruit. I have the yellow ones. I have a whole bunch of different kinds.
My wife gets jealous when I go to see Julian because of the jackfruit.
Yeah?
Yeah, she gets. No, you get mad at me. Yeah.
And you didn't take me.
What's that?
That's what she tells you?
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah. Oh, did you? You went. I'll come home and she'll be like, "Did you go to see Julian?" I'm like, "Yeah." Yeah. Okay. So, Cupcake has a Lara variety,
what?
starfruit
Oh, okay.
that she got from you. Okay, Doug, you got your first sour sop from Julian and it's delicious. Celestial Numa, how should leftover jackfruit be stored? I'll do it like watermelon. Well, I'll just open it like this and put cellophane and leave it in the skin. Or if it's really close, I'll just butcher it and I'll just put all the pods in, the little pods in a Tupperware. I don't know.
You could freeze it. Jackfruit freezes.
Oh, I didn't
very
know
well.
that.
Very well. Yeah.
Okay.
Take the seed out. Take the seed out. And I just had frozen jackfruit yesterday.
And dehydrated tastes really good.
I didn't know
Dehydrated.
that.
Dehydrated tastes really kind of reminds me of a fruit roll up.
Oh.
The crunchy jackfruit don't dehydrate well because they're too hard.
The soft one.
The
yeah.
soft ones
Oh,
taste like a
okay.
fruit roll up.
This, whatever this is a delicious variety.
That reminds me a lot of Chino.
It's good. Okay, Paul, there's a lot of people giving you Donnie jive, trying to just bust your balls a little.
Is that a question or a comment?
I'm just telling you, people are teasing you about the Donnie.
Don't tease me all you want, but they're the fool because it's terrible.
Okay, so Paul just did a video last week. Julie and I,
house.
yeah, Julie and I were going up to see Paul. Paul says to me, "Bring me some Simmons. I've been eating Simmons. I've been hearing great things about it, and I don't like it." Well, okay, that doesn't really do much for me.
What it was my first year, my Simmons tree had Simmons on it. I've had them before, and it
Yeah.
was great. And I said, why are all my Simmons avocados terrible?
Okay,
And
so I said, "I'll bring you some Simmons tomorrow." So Julian and me drive up, and first thing Paul does is says, "Taste this." I take a bite. I go, "That ain't a Simmons. It's not a Simmons." And then he tasted one of the Simmons I gave him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, this is way
No,
better."
we walk by the tree. Go, look, that's
Yeah.
my Simmons.
Then the next step, we walk out into the yard.
His
He
backyard.
goes, "That's the Simmons." And before I could say it, Julian goes, "That's a Donnie." And I'm like, "That's a Donnie."
It's just easy to spot.
Easy to spot.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
nightmares I have from that sentence, that's a Donnie. It's like, oh,
What? That's your
And
Simmons?
dude,
No, it's not.
you also, they were nice, big, like
Oh, they're
later in the
beautiful.
season
They're
Donnies
I
too
just
you
cut
had
the
on
tree.
that tree.
There were about 20 on there. And I
How
just
did they
cut the
taste?
tree.
Yeah.
How did they taste?
Terrible.
Terrible.
I just cut the
Even
tree.
even on the tree for a long time, they tasted
Yeah.
terrible.
They're falling off the tree.
Man, I remember when
Terrible.
Donnie was so cutting edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Just
it
when
was-
I got into the business, it was.
It was
yeah.
like the cutting edge
Yeah,
avocado.
people wanted
Everybody,
to they were telling me to cut down some of my
Bro,
trees and put in
I
Donnies.
had an employee just drive by at somebody's farm
Yeah.
to look at the Donnies.
Yeah.
And without even telling me, I didn't even know, he just did it on his own account. Bro, the owner called me up and said, "Hey man, one of your workers are looking at my trees, man, and I know they want to steal budwood. So tell them not to come here anymore." I'm like,
That's
"What?"
a crime that they would want a Donnie.
I'm like, "Oh my god, bro! I had no idea."
Yeah.
He went over there. But anyways, that was like 25
funny,
years
yeah.
ago.
The Donnie.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what though, from a pricing as a, you at early season Donnies, you're getting 4 times.
It doesn't
what
matter
I'm
if it's
selling my Monroes
watery
for.
or if it's.
Sometimes people
Let me
say-
tell you something. Last year, okay, just by the going rate, you're usually getting about $400 a bin. Last year, not this season, 2023, they were getting $1,600 wholesale for a bin of Donnies.
Somebody told me, well, Donnie's great because it's the only avocado that's available at that time. I'm like,
Not no more.
First of all, not no more atme's available. But even if that was the case, I'm like, I'd still rather not have it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's like, it's just.
a bin of atme will probably cost the same.
Oh my! In April, at this flavor.
Yeah, but I'm saying it won't cost more because of the quality. It'll cost pretty much the same because avocado at the end of the day is avocado.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
here's-
Right. Right.
And
At
here's
that,
the
at that
thing.
time of the year, it's 1,600
Right.
bucks.
And here's the thing. Maybe if you let it stay in a tree, maybe it will be better. But the whole point of getting it is that you get it early.
Yeah.
If you're gonna let it stay in a tree, well,
Well,
why
it's
not
like
just
the
get-
rosy gold mango.
I was just gonna
It don't
say
knock
that.
your socks
I was
off, but
gonna say
it's
that.
you get them in April.
But
you know.
still, it's
March sometime.
Or-
unless
March
you
even,
let them
yeah.
stay in the tree, though, they're garbage in April and March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the rosy gold mangoes make Pickering taste good.
Yeah, yeah.
They're so bad.
But at that time of the year, beggars can't be choosers.
Oh.
You gotta eat whatever's available in March
Or
and
you
April.
don't have to eat it at all.
but-
if it's not good.
But if you want to have mangoes in March and April, you gotta plant the rosy gold. You have no other choice. If you want to eat it, if let's say you're a snowbird and you're in Miami in March and April and May, you gotta have rosy.
You got the rosy gold. Yeah. Yeah. Julian, Tony has your polo.
Oh
He wears
really?
it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
yeah.
told you there was one.
Yeah, yeah. And Gidrius G, very interesting dude. He's been to the farm. This guy
Yeah.
wants to come and help clean up the table. You're absolutely welcome. Except for I think you live up in like Michigan or something or Illinois. But by all means, come
Well,
down.
thanks for the interest.
Yeah. And my guy who does the thing about bots and opens up 10 or 20 accounts needs attention. So I'm just gonna acknowledge you now. He needs attention a lot. So He's
How
under
many,
the name.
how many accounts?
Oh, there's Carson, Gary, Marcus,
And they're all registered at the same time?
Mojo. No, he makes them up every day.
Oh,
And then I block all but one. I
Right.
keep Gary Simpson alive.
Right.
But I block Marcus Harmington, and here's Carson Harmington, and there's a bunch others. And then he gets mad, why do you block me? But I enjoy it because he pretends to be a bot. Like he writes almost like it's poorly written AI.
all right.
He's good at it.
Wow.
And he references my videos very subtly. I enjoy it. But I can't have you come. I can't, like, I got a business to run here. You know what I'm saying?
Can't play all day.
Yeah. Okay, so yes, John, I sent you Black Prince and Catalina because you asked for them. I mean, curious to hear your thoughts on them. Black Prince, I like the Black Prince. Julian doesn't, right? Or you're not super huge on it. And I know
I tried to like
I
it.
think you gave me one.
I gave you a Black Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. Didn't like it.
No comment.
Okay, no, you could not like
I
stuff.
don't remember. But
It's cool.
I think
Okay.
I don't know.
I'll send
Yeah,
you home with another one.
It wasn't good.
I'll send you home another one. Artful Watcher wants to know when we're going to get an updated, in-depth tour of Bobby's Grove. Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, Paul, head out there, man. Do one of
I
your.
thought he was coming here today.
Yeah, apparently I think he's in Ecuador talking to Adam West. That's not his name. His last name is
That's
West.
Batman.
That's
Adam
Batman.
West is Batman.
Commissioner.
Commissioner Gordon. Yes.
Oh, Bobby, yeah, I'll get out there. I was there last week. We had a
Okay.
good time.
Yeah, we should do a Fruitful 5 video at his
Yeah.
place.
Growing Rare Fruit in Paso Robles, California wants to know how to spell the name of the atme. Very easy to spell because it's named after April and May. Atme. APMAY.
Why?
Keep your eye on this one. In about 5-6 years, I think it'll.
Hopefully.
Well, it'll be even more than that till fruit's really ready on a commercial basis. But you'll have a lot of trees probably in 5 or 6 years, or a fair amount.
I'll have a lot of trees hopefully by spring or summer.
Oh, even then. Okay, good.
This-
Good.
this year.
Yeah, Artful Watcher bought a Tesoro Mame Americana, delicious. I got one too.
yeah.
I got one too off of Julian.
That's like the best one. You know, I had a
Delicious.
customer bring me a Mame Americana that he grew from seed. That was the biggest Mame Americana I've ever seen in my life. It was about this big,
Really?
like almost the size of a basketball.
Wow.
I couldn't believe how big it was. And I cut it open to eat it, and when it was perfectly ripe, and it was just bland.
Oh.
And it was freestone. And it had a tiny seed. It was like
So-
a little tiny seed and freestone.
So ticked a ton of boxes except for flavor.
Yeah,
Paul,
very bland.
everybody's, man, they love you. They're really busting your balls in the chat here, Paul. They come at you hard.
I can't.
I gotta
imagine-
defend my buddy.
I
Like,
can't imagine smart people that are smart enough to view you and see your channel would truly like Arani. So they're probably
Donnie,
just
you mean.
Donnie.
Donnie. So they're probably just busting your
they're busting you. They're busting you.
Jim West.
They want to know, Paul, they're complimenting you on your design, your Fruitful Trees design. Is that a
thank you.
particular type of fruit tree or just general trees in general?
Well, actually, it was.
It looked like mango trees.
Yeah, they're not a fruit tree. They were a nut tree, actually.
Okay.
Walnut.
Yeah, but I had the trees changed. What's his name? Changed the trees for me, but they're not fruit trees. But anyway, I got the shirts in different colors. You can get the shirts and everything. Go to under my videos is a link.
I like that it's long sleeve. That way you get a little sun protection.
Protection, yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Smiths, we got all the kids in the background, and mine's in his bedroom on his PS4. And believe me, you would much rather hear what these little kids are screaming. If I walk down the hall, I'd get banned from YouTube. The language that comes out of my son's bedroom when he's on that game would make a trucker blush.
The fruitful kids.
Oh. Okay, let's hear a couple more. Let's go to the chat here. So then,
How many are online?
there's 82 people right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a lot of people actually. How old does a seedling need to be before it will take a graft? Julian, that's a
Pencil
Julian.
thick.
Pencil thick, that's what I tell
Husky
everyone.
pencil, even
Yep.
better.
Well, could I give you a tip that some
please
people
do.
give me with the
Please
mangoes,
do. Please
but
do.
it would work with avocados as well? Grow a seedling, and when it starts growing, if you want to see what it's going to be, and you don't want to wait all that time, take a graft from that and put it on another tree, and it'll come out a lot sooner.
It'll push from the bigger
You
tree.
know, I did that.
A lot sooner.
There's a tree, a mango tree, growing behind my office that when you break the leaf, it smells just like orange, like a Gary.
Okay.
And I can't wait for that thing to make fruit. It's going to take too long, and it's really too close to the building. So I got some budwood off of it, and I cut down an ancient Tommy Atkins, and I grafted it onto the stump. And right now it's growing into a tree. Now hopefully the age and the hormone from the rootstock will influence this mango to fruit a lot faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will. It will.
Yeah.
It's Chris at Truly Tropical. That's what she does, and she has 3 or 4 new varieties out. I was just there.
Yeah.
And
Lemonish.
Lemonish. We did
heard
a
that's
whole
pretty
video
good.
about
I
it.
saw
I
a
didn't
video
taste
about
it, but
that.
we did a whole video about it.
Really?
She said it has more lemon flavor than lemon zest.
Really?
And it doesn't get disease, and it looks identical to orange sherbet.
Well, lemon zest is a phenomenal, exceptional mango, but lemon meringue has more lemon flavor.
Not than lemon zest.
Well, not more than lemon zest.
No.
You think it has more than
less.
less than
Lemon
lemon-
zest has more.
than lemon meringue?
100%.
Oh man, I think the other way around.
I felt the other way around too. I thought lemon meringue missed its opportunity and should have been called key lime. First of all, I think it tastes like key lime pie.
Yeah, like lemon meringue pie or key.
Yeah, but and secondly, I found the lemon zest to be more on the order of like the Indian varieties, like a white Perry or something, or a
No,
sunrise.
there's no.
No, I get the
spice to it
lemon.
at all.
I get the lemon on the lemon zest, but not as much as meringue.
Okay, Maria hasn't tried green avocados. Are they good? Yeah, and you know, again, the Hass avocado is 95% of the market, but it's just one of hundreds of varieties, and there's probably about 60 varieties grown commercially, and most of them look like this. Brandon from Robert is here. We were watching our kids play football the other night, and he made a comment, and I think you'll agree with this. The Hass is actually the anomaly. The Hass is the weird looking avocado. If you compare it to the other varieties, most of them are going to be kind of green and bigger than a Hass. The Hass is kind of the weird looking one. But since it's 95% of the market, that's the avocado everyone grew up eating. That's the one everyone's used to. And so, yes, these are all delicious, and they're not all green. Some are purple, some are reddish, some are black. Look at how red this Hardy is. And yeah, we're tasting them here, and some of them we like, some of them we don't.
Yeah, look at this. How red that
Look
is.
at that. That's what is that? Another Hardy?
Yeah, and Hialeah red is even more
I
candy
can't
red.
wait till mine produces fruit.
Alexis just got on the live.
No, he's been on. He's been on the whole time.
Did you just get on, or did you been on?
He's been on. No, I've been talking to
Since
him
the beginning.
Yeah.
That might have been another Alexis.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah, that was another Alexis.
Oh, okay.
He just got on.
oh, never mind. Sorry. Oops. Okay. Do either of you guys ship jackfruit? The fruit?
I tried shipping it last year,
Uh-huh.
and it's just too. It breaks down too fast.
Plus, it's heavy as
But
hell.
jackfruit is probably, of every fruit we have here other than avocado, in cities at least, it's the easiest one to find because just about every international grocery or market has jackfruit.
Oh, really?
They
Yeah.
sell big ones.
Yeah, Publix
cheap
has
too.
it already.
Okay.
Yeah. But the thing is, with me, I have to cut it in order to ship 5 pounds or 10 pounds.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
become very common in super
Yeah.
Whole Foods
It-
has
it-
it.
yeah.
You can find it.
It would be hard to ship.
And like anything, it's not going to taste as good as getting them off the tree. That if you're local, definitely stop by their farms and try it. And there are different varieties. We could do a whole nother video on jackfruits and the
different
different
varieties,
varieties, and
yeah.
some
So,
are great and some.
Julian, they're asking about cuttings on the atme, and I mean, I'll let you answer it.
No, there'll be grafted trees available hopefully sooner than later.
And where do you sell them grafted trees?
LaraFarmsMame.com.
I was a salesman my whole career, so I can't hold it back.
No,
Sometimes.
no,
I
you're doing
can't
the
hold
right
it
thing.
back.
You're doing the right thing.
Well, what about? I think they were asking about the budwood.
Right.
Are you gonna
No,
have that?
no.
You're
No,
gonna
there's
need
only
that
one
for
tree.
yourself. Okay.
I mean, I
Yeah,
have
there's
trouble
not
getting
enough.
budwood for myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, Cupcake Betty, 1,600 a bin at the beginning of the season. It was a slow start for avocados last year. I mean, it's economics. It's supply and demand.
Right.
It's supply and demand. It's economics. Let's see here. Much love, Rosy Gold, Dwarf Hawaiian. Okay. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Wait, what was that?
They're just agreeing with us about the Rosy Gold and stuff like
Oh,
that.
that is terrible.
Yeah, well, it's not up there.
Just for
It's not
early
a
season.
White Perry.
Just for early season.
White berries are amazing.
Yeah. Man, I had all import Benishan. And I was
Poor
just-
Bryce, he keeps asking us how old does a seedling need to be, but I think we did answer it.
You know what's still good that was just on my tree till last week? Little gem.
I
Really
saw your
nice.
video
Yeah,
about
really
it.
nice.
But you gave them to us not liking them 2 weeks ago, and on
Did you
your
have
video,
Did you have some?
yeah, I loved them, but you know me.
Well, no.
But in your video, you said every other one is good.
That's the way it's been.
Yeah.
It's been amazing, but the good ones have been wow.
When they're good, they're good. Just like Lancetilla. Lancetilla has been frowned upon many, many times. But when they're good, they're good.
I haven't had.
I had one that was a little
When they're good,
yucky.
it's like eating a carrot.
Noe, come here. What's the worst mango you ever
okay.
tasted? Wait to hear this. What's the worst mango you ever tasted?
La-
I don't remember that.
Lancetilla?
Huh?
Lancetilla?
I think it was that's what it was.
Yeah.
Sour.
Yeah,
Sometimes
but
it's
it was
sour.
also, even the people who gave it to us admitted it was picked hella early because the squirrels were getting to them.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Bad.
Yeah,
Bad
bad.
taste.
Just like, you know, I had an orange sherbet the other day and it was horrible. Because it was
Mushy?
picked, huh?
Was it a jelly seed?
It wasn't jelly seed, but it was picked right off the tree.
Yeah, Alex,
It
you're
just-
right. My kid swearing comes from me, and that comes from his grandpa too. We let it fly. Craig Jacob has a Brogdon and an Oro Negro. I guess he bought them right now online.
Awesome.
Maybe they came through on your phone. Yeah, my kid gets his foul language. Plus, I never told him he couldn't curse as a kid. I don't. I'm not one of those parents, and I told him just don't curse around your teachers.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. So let's see. Julian, you were talking about a backward graft. Something about grafting a root to a shoot and a shoot to a root. Does that ring a bell with you? Go ahead, tell them about that.
It's called inverted graft. Okay, let's say you plant the avocado seed, and then the roots start to sprout. Sometimes the root sprouts first before the, or you can do it with Mame as well. Avocado. I mean, this inverted grafting technique works with canistel, Mame, avocado. I've tried it on jackfruit, and that was like microsurgery.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a little tiny root. coming
Really?
out, yeah.
Okay.
And I tried it with mango as well. And what it does, it makes the tree dwarfy. And it makes it precocious. So if you have a precocious variety of Mame, I mean, that's not precocious, because a precocious variety would be Pace or Magana. And varieties that are not precocious would be Florida and Key West. So if you would get one of those varieties that are not precocious, which means they fruit right away or they flower right away, and you graft it invertedly on the root system, it will make it flower a lot faster than normally it would when it's even if it's grafted. So you plant the Mame seed, and then immediately you get like a tap root that comes down. So you pluck that out like a carrot, and you flip it upside down, and then you use the tap root as the rootstock.
Really?
Yeah. So you do the decapitation, you snip, and then you cut down the middle, and you do the cleft graft with the Mame or with the canistel or with whatever it is you're doing that to. Okay, and sometimes you have to like really babysit and make sure the taproot grows nice and straight so you can do an easy graft.
Okay.
Okay, so you do the cleft, wrap it up, plant it back upside down in the pot again.
Okay.
Okay, and what will happen is the seedling will come and make a U-turn going towards sunlight because it's going to be sprouting from down here.
Right.
And then you have all the webby whatchamacallit, roots.
The hairy roots.
The
that
hairy
come off
roots
from the sides
coming out from the sides of the taproot,
of the taproot.
going into the soil and grabbing onto the soil. So whenever you see the seedling growing, you just cut it. You just
Really?
suppress it, and just make sure that the graft, after the graft take, you make sure that it continues to grow and it grows as the dominant growth thing.
Right.
Besides the
Like you would with any graft because that one's going to want.
that
to
one's
grow,
going to
shoot.
want to grow. Just
Right,
suppress
right.
the
That's
seedling
not just a branch,
and
that's
just
the actual
focus
shoot.
on the graft growing on the root system.
And then in the
And
meantime,
cover it as much as you can with dirt so that the roots can grow into the soil.
so you've inverted the taproot, and then the hairs are going to just grow out around the seed and
Right.
become the root system.
Right.
Interesting. I never.
Show
That's
us.
cool.
On another note, this is a Mame seed. Show people how you're supposed to grow this. Like, how do you put it in the dirt?
Well,
Show them the normal.
I mean,
way to
in
do it.
nature, it goes like this, laying out. And the seed grows a root, goes down here, and then the plant grows up like that. But at my farm, I plant them standing up with the little tip, the little beak, little beak right there, up, and this down, straight like that. So that way the roots grow straight down, grows with taproot straight down, and the plant grows straight up.
And I've done it that way successfully, the way you're saying. But so everyone knows, the fatter part will go point up, and the skinnier part will point down on the Mame seed.
Okay, good
Yeah,
advice.
I'll show
I
you
didn't
that.
land mine flat.
Yeah.
Mame makes such a beautiful
Do it
seedling.
that way.
They make such a pretty little tree.
Do it
Mame.
that way.
And with avocado, it's the flat part up and the pointy part down,
What?
right?
No,
No, it's all the way around.
belly button down.
Oh, belly button down.
Yeah, belly button. I thought unless you were teaching me something different
I
that
don't
I didn't
remember.
know. Yeah. No, belly button down, pointy part up. Yeah.
Is it like that? You remember? Is it like this? Or
I
like
just
that?
threw it in the dirt on you.
No, I know.
Well, in
I know
nature,
it is.
in nature, it's always going to be like this.
Yeah. No, I've tested it. I know it's belly button down.
But yeah,
Point up.
I like planting it. I just don't remember right now if it's
Yeah.
belly button down or up. But
Yeah.
I like planting it like this,
Yeah.
standing up, so that the roots
Yeah, there you go.
can,
That's it. That's
can
it.
go straight down
Yep, exactly. That's
instead
it.
of having to curve and go down like
Right,
that.
right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. And you don't want the rootstock to have to curve and go up either.
Right.
Or the
The
actual
plant,
stem.
the plant.
Yeah. The real Alexis is here. Hello, Alexis. How are you? I thought you were the other Alexis. Welcome to the party, Bubba. Cupcake and Bryce know each other. It was fun to watch you have that banter back and forth like a brother and sister.
Probably.
Are there any Brogdons ready to eat?
No,
Oh, I love the Brogdon.
I thought this one would be ready, but
I bought about a half
I don't
dozen from
recommend
him.
people plant those if you have a small space because
Maybe a big tree.
they taste great, but the amount of seed versus the size of the avocado,
Gotcha.
I
you gotta
love 'em.
consider that.
I eat them like an apple.
Yeah.
You eat right through the skin. I love them. Oh, they're so good. So good. Okay, so let's see here. Anyone ever hear of the variety of avocado called Edinger? Apparently it's an Israeli variety. I've not. Sleepy Lizard, what type of avocado is shipping currently? You put it in order Friday. I'll be shipping you Miguel. I'll be picking and shipping Miguel tomorrow. The Hass doesn't have any taste, Norma says. I enjoy the taste of a Hass.
A good Haas is good. A good Haas is good.
a good
You know,
Haas.
there are some Haas that maybe this is because some Haas's you get from the store are amazing.
They could be.
So it depends when you get them.
They could be. And by the way, I was called by on the phone by the grandson of Rudolf Hass and corrected on the pronunciation. It's Hass, not Haas.
Oh, really?
It's Hass like ass, or bass, or
Yeah.
grass,
Yeah.
or gas.
That's cool to get these
So
phone
where we
calls.
get Haas? Haas, I guess, would be H-O-S.
Well, Hass. Phonetically, it should be pronounced Haas.
Look, to be for people like the Hall family, the Haas
It's cool as
family reaching out to us or to
Super
you
cool.
is super cool.
I
man.
mean, for me, one of the highlights was when I went right around the corner here and I went to, what's that sapodilla called I told you?
Silas Woods.
Silas Wood. I went to his house. Like, he used
Yeah,
to live in
that's
that house.
super cool.
And I saw the original
Super
Silas
cool.
Wood tree.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
So,
Well, just think, right now there's some future YouTuber that's only in diapers that someday is going to go to you when you're an old man and talk about the atme and the Lara this and you
Yeah,
know.
or we're long gone
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, the original Lara purple avocado trees right here.
And then I also got a phone call. No, this was an email, and I don't even know if it's them or not, on the pronunciation of another variety, the choquette.
Oh, because Paul always says choquette.
You say choquette, I say
funny.
choquette. They told me it's choquette,
Choquette.
like SH.
Yeah, just like cogshaw, it's not pronounced cogshaw.
Cogs Hall.
It's pronounced cogsall.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Well, you know Brussels
but spells
sprouts.
cogshaw.
Do you eat Brussels sprouts?
Oh yeah, I love Brussels sprouts.
Do you realize there's what 5 S's in that word, and
Yeah.
they don't pronounce all the S's. BRUSSELSSPROUTS.
Brussels.
People call them Brussels sprouts.
Yes, Brussels.
I respect the S.
You gotta respect that.
You respect it, and I say Brussels
Because
sprouts.
the name of the country is Brussels.
Brussels.
You know what?
It's not Brussels.
It's not Brussels.
Upsets people more than any other video I make.
What?
Is when I say liche. They get so upset. They get
Oh,
so
you're funny
upset.
because you say
listen.
choquette, you say
Yeah,
biche,
that's how you. Yeah,
and you say Loretta for instead of Lorito.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
And that's how you get the clicks, man. You make mistakes, people love to correct you.
You get the comments.
Yeah. Okay, let's see. Victor Diaz wants to know how good is the Oro Negro. I can't speak to it. I've only heard great things about it, and I finally bought one from you and planted it. I haven't eaten one yet.
It's
What
a
do y'all
great
think?
avocado, but like Paul was saying, it's not very productive.
Yeah, excellent taste.
Yeah,
Excellent taste.
yeah, it is.
And good seed ratio. It's pretty good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's a
It's
small
just-
seed.
It's just
Hopefully next year we can get my seedless avocado.
yeah,
Okay.
my tree's big. It's in a pot, but it's pretty big.
Mine is pretty big too, and it didn't flower. Didn't flower for me.
Miguel tried the Russells. Was it the Russell I sold you last week? They were a good one. They were a lot smaller than what you see here on the table with us right now.
a big Russell.
Yeah, this is a nice size Russell. The ones I had were from an organic farm, and part of me wonders if they're not even a variant of the Russell, because when they ripened, they turned yellow. Oh, there's one. It's right here. Look at it. It turned this color when it was ready to eat, where the other Russells I've had have done.
Yellow skin avocado.
Well, Tom, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
As somebody who only has a limited variety of varieties on your farm, but having room for more, when you see this, are you like, I got to get at least one tree of each of these? Or do
No.
you not know?
No, because I know what my customers
No,
like.
for your own personal use, though.
That I did with mango, but not so much with avocado. But with
Alright.
mango, I did create a personal stock in my little
Yeah, I
backyard.
remember we did a good
I'll show you. I'll
video.
show you.
We
when-
did a video on it.
We did when I first planted it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll show you how it's doing over there. But no, with avocado, there's a few things I wanted as novelties, like the Hialeah red, because I make content. It's good to have like a red avocado. But no. At the end of the day, I still have to remember I'm running a business, and I do need to. Like for me, like with mango, the best move I could make is rip out everything and just plant all Valencia Pride. My customers love them. They grow real fast. They produce real good for me. That would just be an excellent business move for me to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Even Pickery is a good one because it's a dwarfy tree and it's
Yeah.
high production.
Yeah.
It tastes good.
Yeah.
To a lot of people. If you love Valencia Pride, you're gonna
yeah,
love Pickery.
yeah. And so like that, like
And
from
it doesn't get any disease
yeah,
either.
Yeah. Now I do keep, I've got other varieties, but as far as my biggest problem with avocado, Paul, has been when I moved in here, I had 2 Simmons trees and choquettes and Monroes. And as I've been losing them to laurel wilt, I've been going up to Lara Farms and getting Simmons,
Replacing.
then I found a farm that had Simmons and Miguel.
And those
that-
are not gonna get Laura Wilt for at least 40 years before they get
Exactly. Yeah.
connected with the other ones.
They got tons of time before the beetle will hit them too. The beetle likes a nice wide trunk.
right,
Yeah.
right. And it's
So-
kind of a lottery if the beetle gets it.
Yeah, but statistically they go after thicker trunk ones.
Or the easier to find.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and so and then I found a farm to lease that had Donnie, Simmons, and Miguel, and so I run that farm with a partner, and so that said, I tasted a Brogdon at his farm last year, and I have since put in 6 Brogdon, which I'll also sell to my customers. I would love to grow another Lula, which I had as a backyard tree, and laurel wilt got to it. But now, for the most part, now when it's a table full of mangoes, then it's like there's a much wider variance, I think, in the palette of mango flavors than across avocado. I've had a lot of mangoes. If you blindfolded me and put a toothpick with a cube, I wouldn't have even known I was eating a mango.
Yeah, like Olimpor Benish.
Olimpor Benishan, the apricot.
The apricot.
Oh,
The ambrosia.
the ambrosia. Was that not?
Yeah.
What'd you think of that one? Please tell me you liked
I
that
liked
one.
it.
I mean, that day was the best one there.
That was delicious. Yeah.
White Perry is a phenomenal mango. I mean, I would love to have 5 acres of White Perry, but
Their tree take a lot of work because they get a lot of the.
they get a lot of disease,
Yeah.
and you need a lot of spraying, a lot of
Oh, we
this, a
got
lot of that.
bananas.
Oh, look, we got bananas.
Oh yeah, were they on the floor? There's another okay, so my wife here, come here and show the camera what you just brought in.
What kind are they?
I don't
It's like
know.
Mysore.
I don't know what they are.
It's Mysore.
Was it a big
Okay.
tree or small?
It's about 15 feet high.
It's a Mysore.
So my wife just found a bunch of bananas, and honey, I'm going to tell you, there's an even better bunch on the blue Java,
Okay.
which I know you love.
I'll go and get it.
Yeah, and that
You
one I
wanna
didn't.
try this
That one I
right
didn't
here
cut down.
For you guys?
Go ahead, let Paul have one. Yeah, I found those to be a little they have a little time yet to go. The blue Javas are ready to roll if you want to go
Okay.
get them.
Okay.
Grab one of the machetes.
Machete.
Machete.
But yeah, white Perry, and imagine like having like 5 acres of ambrosia, white Perry, sweet Gary, and your own pork.
Can you imagine? There's a guy down the street that's got acreage of coconut cream. Yeah.
That's a phenomenal mango.
Yep.
And I had a customer come to buy a coconut cream mango. Oh, I've been wanting to buy this, man. I heard all about it. I've never tried it. I'm gonna buy it and load up the tree and everything in the car. I'm like, you know what? I think I have a coconut cream fruit on the tree that's ready to eat right now. You want to go try it? Yeah, let's go try it.
Yeah.
We drive to the tree. The fruit's there. It's perfectly right. I pick it. Take a slice to sample it. Oh man, this is perfect.
Okay.
Delicious. Here's a slice for you. I don't like it.
Dude. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
You know what? Just sometimes I'd rather just keep my mouth shut.
Dude. The salesman, the former sales VP in me is dying inside as you're telling that story. Because my advice.
So you ended
if
up
you're
not
all-
buying the
If
tree.
your worker did that, you'd be like,
My,
what
well,
are you doing?
or I remember like the advice was once you get ink on paper, you run to FedEx and you send that contract to the corporate office, right? And I remember one day it was the last day of the fiscal year, last day of the fourth quarter, last day of the fiscal year, and I had one customer that had swept me every year because he wanted to just get that last couple points of discount, knowing we needed the order by 5 p.m. 4:30, he signs the contract, turns it, and puts it on his desk. Starts bullshitting with me. How's the family? How's the fishing over in Miami? He's messing with me. In my head, I'm thinking, should I just grab that and run? Like, should I just grab this? Because I had to get it to FedEx by 5 p.m., right?
Yeah.
And he's talking and I'm thinking, just grab the contract and run. And finally, his employee who I was working with, she's like, Mike, he needs to get that contract to FedEx. And he's like, oh, Tom, go ahead and take it. But he was messing with me, you know what I mean? But yeah, I would always tell like people, I sold software and people would always want to lead off with, oh, can we come to your hospital and demo the software? And I would say, no. I sell without doing demos. And they'd be like, what do you mean? I say, well, have you ever bought a car? Yeah. Have you ever test drove a car? Yeah. The test drive is an elimination step. No one ever said, I was iffy on that car until I test drove it. But a lot of people say, I was buying that car, then I test drove it and I didn't like it. You know what I mean? Which is exactly what you're saying. So what'd you end up doing?
I just ended up taking back the tree.
And you didn't get a different variety?
No. I was kind of upset, man.
That banana I just had,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
Was it
What
good?
that? Mysore?
Excellent, Mysore.
Yeah. Is it a Mysore?
So
Okay.
good.
You know what happened was I bought a bunch of banana plants and I just put little sticks in the ground. I should have made a map.
Yeah.
Because they get blown, they disappear.
Never label.
No,
I mean,
you need to put a
label
map.
it if you want, but what
need
you
to
really
put a
gotta
map.
do is make a map.
You need to make a map.
Make a
I learned that lesson. Yeah. Yep. Jeremy wants to know, would you recommend a Lula? You're 1 hour north of Tampa. Yeah, I would. I absolutely would. Let's see. We'll go for about 10 more minutes. So if you have any more questions, please ask.
I'm not even that full either.
Let's,
I'm ready
dude,
to
let's.
rip
I'm
into that
definitely
jackfruit
gonna
all
load
the
up on
time.
that jackfruit. There ain't no doubt about it. Yeah, bring that sucker around. And Cupcake Betty, yeah, the Brussels sprout. Let's start saying it that way. We need to change the way we pronounce that fruit. Ryan Betker, lychee, please. Cupcake Betty, always do your own research. Paul, you're a big proponent of that. Try the varieties before you plant them.
Yes.
Try the varieties before you plant them. Is there such a thing as a seedless
What about the
avocado,
baby?
guys? Is there such a thing as a seedless avocado?
Yes.
Right?
It's on my Facebook. Just gotta scroll to like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yes, it does exist, and I have the video proof of it. I cut it open in front of Kat. I showed you the
Yes,
video.
you did. And you've
And
got
it's-
some seedlings coming.
And it
of
looks like a little cucumber. I got grafts of it. I have clones of it. And when I went back to get more budwood, they cut down the tree. They eliminated the tree.
But luckily you had some budwood in the meantime.
Luckily, I had already grafted. I'm done.
Now, baby. That's
It's-
I'm burping it.
Here, just
Burping it.
stick it front and center so I could grab a few. So yes, there is a seedless avocado. Okay, this I get a lot. Alex is asking, has it always been HASS or did it used to be HAAS? And I don't know why.
It's a Dutch name.
Yeah,
It's
but
Haas,
but
H-A-A-S.
the guy who grew it was Rudolf Hass, Hass.
Right.
Now, maybe your supermarket spelled it wrong, you know what I mean? But it's an interesting question that comes up a lot.
Maybe they were trying to be politically correct.
And what, they don't want to say ass?
Yeah.
Hass.
Ass.
The donkey avocado.
Owen Osborne, how you doing, Bubba? You're thinking about planting a row of Charwill. Do they do well in Florida? We don't know, and the Charwill is patented, I believe. Have you heard of the Charwill?
No.
Okay, so the Charwill is a variety. I don't know if it's coming out of California or Hawaii, but it's like getting traction over on the West Coast. Apparently, it's delicious. I'm trying to get my hands on just to eat. I want to taste the fruit. I'm dying to taste it.
What is it?
An avocado.
Oh.
And it's
Charwill.
Charwill. And when I first started hearing about it, it not only was patented, but it was only grown in one grove. They weren't even letting budwood out. Now it's my understanding some people are growing the budwood in California, and it's also in Hawaii. I've heard great things about it, but I don't know a thing about it.
There's another variety here in South Florida people are getting. What's the name? It's on the West Coast. Somebody has it, but it's supposed to fruit in the summer.
For the reed?
No. It's from a California variety. I gotta look it up.
Kofi says, thanks for the stream. You're welcome. Artful Watcher, would we ever expected our channels to get this popular? I mean, I've done a lot of things. I have this thing, Artful, and it applies to growing fruit. It applies to grafting trees. I've done the Ironman triathlon a couple times. I've learned to speak another language. And I tell this to people all the time. When you're grafting a tree, right? Now this guy's grafted probably hundreds of thousands of trees.
I've been grafting since I was 14.
Okay. If I never grafted a tree before, but if I sit next to Julian and I do the exact same thing Julian does, he has one seedling, I have another. My seedling doesn't know that it's my first and his millionth.
Right.
And if you just do the things that yield a successful graft, you will have a successful
So if you
graft.
follow the protocols.
If you follow the protocols, right? And so when I wanted to do the Ironman triathlon, it's a swim 2.4 miles, you bike 112, and you run a full marathon all in one day. And I said to myself, well, there's other people who do it. If I just do what they did, I'll be able to do it too. I've had business goals. I've had other goals. When it came time to open up a YouTube channel, I only did it kind of for kicks at first, and then I started getting some traction, and then I said, you know what? If I do the things and that doesn't mean copy what they do, but if I take the steps other people took in coming up with a successful channel, why can't I? You know? And so I kind of started paying attention to what was working and replicating that and had the success there. So, you know, your question kind of taps into a little bit of a life philosophy that I have. However, this little plaque here behind me, I got like, I you know, at 53 years old, I'm kind of old to be feeling proud of it. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
I haven't been proud of something in 20 years. Like, you know, oh, Mom, look at this. I'm a little old for that now. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's an accomplishment.
But I was proud of that.
It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah. But again, as we know, it's the entertainment industry. And you could have a video do 1 million views and your next video doesn't break 1,000. You know? And the example I use, we're all from the same era, and I think I've talked to you about this before, Julian, is that song Africa. You know, gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. Who sings that song?
Toto.
Okay, name another song by Toto.
There isn't.
Right, okay.
The one-hit wonder.
One hit wonder, except for Rosanna, the kids. There is Rosanna.
That's Toto?
That's Toto. But you don't even know that, right? My point being, that song Africa is, you hear it at least once a week on the radio. And that's been for 40 years, since we were in high school, right? That's all they did.
Right.
Super successful one time, they couldn't come up with another hit. That's how hard this is. It's damn hard, you know? So, yeah, so, you know, it's hard to do.
Yeah. But you gotta be consistent.
I have several channels.
Yeah.
And one of my channels is over 100K.
Yeah.
They wouldn't give me a plaque
Why?
because I had too many videos taken down by them.
You, of all people, right?
because it's a health channel, and
Uh-huh.
I spoke about certain health things.
And they got,
I spoke about certain truths.
Pharma, big
and,
pharma.
and they
Yeah.
and they literally. So that's what I said. Where's my plaque? They said, well,
you gotta be kidding me. Yeah. Wow.
It's terrible.
Wow. Okay, couple other quick questions before we quit here for the day. Owen Osborne is going to plant the Charwill. Let's see. There was someone here who tried Charwill and likes it. It sounds like Anthat Enlightened. Marco Nebbit, Guiro Avocado. Julian, have you ever heard of this one? I never have. Guiro, G-U-I-R-O.
Guido,
Guiro, G-U-I-R-O
avocado.
Yeah. I never heard of it.
That's a Guido.
What's it called?
A Guido, when a guida is a maraca.
Right, like a musical
what
instrument.
kind of avocado?
Guido.
Oh, it's from Brooklyn. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. hey, what you talking about? Let's see. Okay, here's another one from my bot friend. Thank you. Wow, you really created a lot of accounts today, Bubba. Tom, Julian, Paul, tell us your top 5 varieties of avocado to grow and eat.
Did that.
Yeah, it's going to take us an hour to answer that question. Starweaver, in Hawaii, Charwill is one of the best. So let's make that a goal for next year.
In
You and me.
Hawaii,
Yeah, let's make it.
Charwill.
Let's get our hands on a Charwill
and
next
it's a
season.
patented avocado.
A what?
Patented.
What is that? Patented. Yeah. So we ain't gonna be able to get the budwood, but we can probably get some of the fruit.
From who?
I don't know. Let's make it a mission for next season. For next avocado season. One of us, let's try and get our hands on it and see if it's all that. You know. Can I ask Julian, is the Mexican mango the same as the Carabo mango or the Philippine mango?
Carabao and the Filipino to me is the same thing.
Okay.
And there's a book where it's 2 different mangoes,
Yeah.
but to me it's the same.
Yeah.
Carabao and Filipino is the same thing.
Okay. Jupiter wants to know fertilizer for avocados.
For avocado, you can start out with Miracle Grow or 20-20-20. 2 tablespoons in a gallon of water, mix it up really good. Pour it on the roots, on the ground, drench it, in other words, and repeat once a month if you can. Do it every 2 weeks. You know how many times they use that on the orchid farms?
Oh, once a week?
Every day.
Yeah.
They missed it every day.
Well, my wife brought in those bananas, and I know when I fertilize my bananas, I get bunches
You get a
like
quick
crazy.
response.
I have several clumps throughout the farm. I can't fertilize them all on the same day because then I get bunches all at
Yeah,
the same
surplus.
time and I can't eat them all.
Yeah.
So I stagger my fertilizing. It makes a huge difference. We have a lot of people thanking us, so
You're
we
welcome.
accept your thanks. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We thank you. Let's do a round of like sort of plugs so you know where to find us. So why don't we start with Paul? Where can they find you, Paul?
My channel is Fruitful Trees. That's my fruit tree channel. Or you could just go to fruitfultrees.tv, and that's for my Fruitful Trees videos. And you can contact me through there and all that.
And you got hats
Good
and you
stuff.
got shirts.
Yeah, shirts, Fruitful Trees shirts, different colors, short sleeve, long sleeve, hats, different colors as well.
And you sold some mangoes this year online.
Yeah, I sold some mangoes this year online, but
Make
get a
fruit trees
sticker.
great again.
make fruit trees great again.
That'll get
Get a
some
sticker,
comments.
because we really need to get the message out there about fruit trees seriously being great again, because it's we love fruit trees,
Yeah.
and some people
Yeah,
do.
everybody should
but
have
everyone
have a mango in their backyard,
especially in Florida.
In
yeah.
Florida.
a white sapote in their backyard,
Yeah.
persimmons in their backyard.
Do you know? Yesterday, I got a subel off my tree still right now. I
Yeah?
got like 5 subels still on
And
there.
now, what did you think? Any bitter aftertaste?
Oh no, I've had them all summer. They're the best. I love them.
Oh, but you're still getting fruit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Subel white sapote.
Yeah, I tried Subel this year and I thought it was really good.
Really good.
Julian, where can we find you? You're out there all over the place, right?
Yeah.
You got a website?
Yep, I got larafarmsmamby.com where I sell tropical fruit trees and fruit to all 49 states, everybody except for Alaska. I ship it out. If it's outside of Florida, it'll take about 2 days to get to you, being the fruit or the trees. So it's pretty fast. And have my nursery where I do take local traffic.
And then don't you have a YouTube or an Instagram or anything like that?
I got an Instagram. Just type in at Lara Farms. I got a Facebook where you just type in Lara Farms. Now my Facebook has over 4,000 followers. So there's a fake account with that they're
There's a lot of
using
that.
my good
There's a
name
lot of that
to
going on now.
scam people into buying from their whatever. I don't know whether So be careful with that. Remember, I have over 4,000 followers, so I should have had more.
Yeah.
But you can tell it's me by the amount of followers. So be
You
careful
got
with
the shirts.
scammers.
You got the
And
shirts.
I got my shirts. I got my polo shirts with Lara Farm name tag back here.
Yeah.
You know, this is good for going to the movies, going to a restaurant, going to a semi-nice place. You know, it's not really to work with.
Made in
This is-
America.
Well, not made in America.
Oh, never mind. Take it.
Made in Bangladesh by a really cool guy. The guy, let me tell you the story. He came to my farm. He goes, Julian, I love you. I love your videos. I love everything you do. I send you messages all the time on WhatsApp. How come you never respond to me? I'm like, bro, I thought you were spamming or scamming
Yeah.
me or something. No, man, I have a factory where I make clothes. I'm like, really? I've been looking for you my whole life. So really cool guy, and you know, 100% cotton, really well made. It has like 9 different colors. I'm gonna be doing durian. I'm gonna be doing mango, jackfruit, and probably a handful of other fruits. And hopefully, I'll be doing more than that. I'll probably be doing hats as well, and other cool items.
Yeah. And you can find me at the Sleepy Lizard YouTube channel. I've also recently had some success on TikTok, where I think I'm also Sleepy Lizard. I used to be Tom the Guac Farmer, but my son renamed my TikTok channel. And I'm also apparently doing pretty good on Instagram, and I don't know what my Instagram is, so shame on me.
I think it's Sleepy Lizard.
Is it Sleepy Lizard? Look up Sleepy Lizard on Instagram. But the most important place that I'd like you to go, so you could get yourself some avocados, and so you could make me look good for my son. You know, we did this live stream. I'd hate to have not sold at least a few boxes. Go to guacfarm.com, GUACFARM.com. And with that, y'all have said goodbye and thank you to us. We're gonna say goodbye and thank you to you. And while we sit down and enjoy the rest of this food, you go to Fruitful Trees, go to Lara Farms Miami, go to guacfarm.com, and we will see you guys on the next live stream.
Bye.
Right.